Chapter 258. However, everything was calm on the screen. There was not even a shadow of a zombie. Su Chun immediately thought that the vampires must have killed them all. There were no more zombies to kill, so he closed his eyes and rested. The next day, there were still no signs of zombies. Su Chun felt bored, so he took out a deck of poker cards and taught Yang Hao and the others how to play Do Diju. This deck of poker cards was also dropped by the shards. In his previous life, Su Chun liked to play poker, so he kept it. He did not expect that it would come in handy today. Do Diju was a simple game and easy to learn. Yang Hao and the others learned it quickly, and they were deeply immersed in it, unable to pull themselves out. 10JQKA. There's only one left. Chun Gu, do you want it? If not, I'm leaving. Yang Hao said proudly. In this round, he and Chao Ran were farmers, and he was Chao Ran's subordinate. Even if Su Chun blew him up, he was not afraid, because Chao Ran would let him go. Moreover, he believed that Su Chun would not dare to blow him up. Su Chun looked at the cards in his hand. He only had 2 kings left, an A and a 3. If he blew them up, he would most likely lose, because there were still 4 2s outside, and they might be in Chao Ran's hands. Su Chun, let's not play. Tan Lin whispered into Su Chen's ear. After watching for a while, she also knew how to play. She also knew that the current situation was very unfavorable for Su Chun. If Su Chun did not blow him up, he would lose 3 points at most, but if he blew him up, he might lose double. Su Chun also knew this, so he said, "No, you can go," after saying that he was ready to admit defeat. Ha. Unexpectedly, Chao Ran suddenly laughed and winked at Su Chun. "Chen Gu, although you're good at fighting, Fight the Landlord is a game of brains. Accept the punishment from me, Chao Ran." As soon as he finished speaking, he threw out 4 2s. "I'll bomb." No one noticed that when Chao Ran threw out the bomb, Yang Hao's face became extremely ugly. Su Chun rubbed his nose and inwardly said, "Not only does this guy know how to gouge people's eyeballs, he's also quite ruthless in playing landlord." A 3, game over. Chao Ran threw out a 3, his face brimming with a bright smile. No. Suddenly, a voice as soft as a mosquito entered everyone's ears. Chao Ran was stunned for a moment. He looked at Yang Hao in a daze and whispered, "I'll throw out a 3, you don't want it?" Yang Hao glared at Chao Ran and said snappily, "I'm not deaf, I don't want it." Haha. This time, it was Su Chen's turn to laugh. He already knew that Chao Ran only had a 3 left in his hand, and it would definitely not run away. "That's great." Yang Qian cried out happily. This situation was undoubtedly the most advantageous for Su Chun. As long as Su Chun could win, she would be happier than anyone else. She even ignored that the person who was going to lose was her own brother. When Chao Ran heard that Yang Hao really didn't want it, he was dumbfounded on the spot, because after throwing out this 3, he only had a small 4 left in his hand. Did he expect Su Chun to let him go? Obviously, it was impossible. He was now full of regret. He felt like he had lifted a rock and smashed it on his own foot. If he knew that Yang Hao only had a 3 left, he wouldn't have thrown out the bomb. Su Chun cleared his throat and began to speak with assurance. "You have to remember the cards when playing landlord. I've already calculated that you still have a bomb in your hand, and I've been waiting for this moment. Accept the punishment of fate." Then, under the watchful eyes of everyone, Su Chun threw out his trump card. "Ah!" Yang Hao screamed, and then sighed with emotion. "I'm not afraid of a godlike opponent, but I'm afraid of a pig-like teammate." Chao Ran next to him was silent, and his face turned green. Chapter 259. Ever since he learned how to play Do Diju, the car was filled with laughter. Moreover, he had to admit that Do Diju was very charming. Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian, the 2 older people, would sometimes play a few rounds. Su Chun played a few rounds, then gave the chance to the others. He would chat with Yang Qian and Tan Lin, or look at the central control screen to find the zombies. Behind, the intelligent war vehicle followed the original route, while the others played Do Diju to pass the time. On the 3rd day, there were finally traces of zombies on the central control screen. There were not many of them, only about 100 or so. Moreover, Su-chun also found that there were hundreds of humans in the same place as the zombies. The two sides did not seem to be in a state of killing each other, and they seemed to be in harmony. This situation made Su-chun a little confused. He suspected that these humans were the same as those in Heaven Altar City. After being infected, they could also live together peacefully. If that was the case, he would not kill these zombies. Because other than their different identities, they also had human emotions. Killing them was the same as killing humans. But whether this was the case or not, he still needed to take a look to know. Anyway, they were just on the route, so Su-chun decided to take a look. Satoshi, lock on the position of these zombies and go immediately. Yes. The intelligent war vehicle sped up and overtook the zombies. Half an hour later, the intelligent war vehicle came to a stop in front of a small village. Su-chun glanced at the small village and saw several zombies standing at the intersection, like guards. When they saw the intelligent war vehicle, they roared together. One of the zombies roared, turned around, and ran into the village. They are all ordinary zombies. Su-chun muttered, opened the door, got out of the car, and walked towards the zombies at the intersection. Based on the reactions of these zombies, he judged that none of them had intelligence. In this way, his previous guess was not valid. Of course, he would not let the zombies here go. When the zombies saw a human walking towards them, they roared even more fiercely. But surprisingly, none of the zombies rushed towards Su-chun, as if they were restrained by something. Su-chun had experienced this situation once in Full Moon City. At that time, the zombies there were restrained by Jiang Chungfeng, just like now. It seems that there is still an intelligent zombie in the village. Su-chun narrowed his eyes and muttered. At this moment, more than 20 zombies walked out of the village. The leader of the group was a zombie wearing a green lab coat. Its face was dark, but its eyes were bright and full of vigor. After coming to the intersection, the green-clothed zombie looked at Su-chun. His face suddenly changed, and then he said respectfully, "Senior, what brings you to our Yangjiapu?" And Su-chun raised an eyebrow and asked, "You can see my cultivation base. Generally speaking, it to see a person to be to see to." But the green-clothed zombie could see it at a glance, which made him feel very strange. The green-clothed zombie explained in fear and trepidation. "Senior, I have a special ability. As long as we are within a certain distance, I can feel the other person's cultivation. Then can you feel what my cultivation level is?" Su-chun suddenly became interested. Yes. The green-clothed zombie narrowed his eyes, and soon a strange light flashed in his eyes. Then, he said, "Level 4 Evolver, Level 4 Magician, Level 4? At this point, the green-clothed zombie opened his mouth wide, and his face was full of shock and disbelief. After looking at Su-chun in a daze, he said involuntarily, "Senior, you are a full-time cultivator, and you have reached Level 4? Chapter 260. Su-chun smiled and declined to comment. Then, he looked at the green-clothed zombie again and said lightly, "Your ability is quite strange. I have never heard of it before. It's just a small trick. It's not worthy of Senior's attention." After knowing Su-chun's true strength, the green-clothed zombie became more respectful, but at the same time, his heart became uneasy. After all, humans and zombies were like fire and water. If Su-chun wanted to kill him, he wouldn't even have a chance to resist. "What is the relationship between the humans in the village and you?" Su-chun stared at the green-clothed zombie and asked. Hearing this, the green-clothed zombie's eyes flashed with a trace of panic, and his face slightly changed. He didn't understand. Su-chun clearly didn't enter the village. How could he know everything inside? However, he didn't have time to think about it, because Su-chun's eyes were already looking at him with some impatience. Replying to Senior, "The people in the village have a strange disease. They have lost their consciousness. I am trying to find a way to save them." The green-clothed zombie hurriedly replied, "Zombies saving humans?" This joke wasn't funny at all. Of course, Su-chun didn't believe it, lightly snorted and said, "I hate people lying to me the most. Those who lie to me don't have a good ending." The green-clothed zombie knew that Su Chun was threatening him, so he gritted his teeth and explained, "Senior, what I said is true, because I was originally from the Yang family fort. Although I became a zombie, I don't want the villagers to be harmed." This kind of nonsense could only fool a 3-year-old child. If he wanted to fool Su Chun, it was no different from wishful thinking. Because once turned into a zombie, even if they had intelligence, their temperament would change greatly, and they would never have any good feelings towards humans. Of course, the humans in Temple of Heaven City with special bloodlines were an exception. And the green-clothed zombie in front of him definitely didn't have that kind of bloodline. If that was the case, then everything he said would be a lie. Looks like, if I don't make you suffer, you won't be willing to speak the truth. Su Chun snorted and immediately released his spiritual power to bind the green-clothed zombie. Feeling an invisible force attacking his body, the green-clothed zombie's expression changed greatly. He hurriedly begged for mercy. "Senior, please calm down. What I said is true. You won't shed tears until you see the coffin." Su Chen's eyes turned cold. He manipulated his spiritual force and directly tore off one of the green-clothed zombie's arms. Ah! The green-clothed zombie roared in pain. Su Chun remained unmoved. When he was about to eat the other arm of the green-clothed zombie, he suddenly discovered a very strange thing. The green-clothed zombie's wound was healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. The speed was so fast that it was almost the same as drinking a healing potion. "You also have a healing body?" Su Chen's expression changed. The healing body, as the name suggested, had the ability to heal itself. Moreover, there were strong and weak abilities. It was rumored that those who had a strong healing body would never die as long as they weren't killed in one blow. Even if they were cut off, they could automatically regenerate. The green-clothed zombie in front of him had a weaker ability to heal. He could only heal wounds, but he didn't have the ability to regenerate broken limbs. Even so, it was still very impressive. "You're making it more and more difficult for me to see through you." Su Chun rubbed his nose and said in a deep voice. Not only did the green-clothed zombie have the ability to sense cultivation, but he also had a healing body. It completely overturned his understanding of zombies. Chapter 262. Human, there are many things that you can't see through. Don't be too smug. The zombie in green seemed to know that he couldn't survive. He wasn't afraid anymore and even mocked Su Chun. "Aren't you afraid that I'll kill you?" Su Chun frowned slightly. He always felt that the green zombie's words had a threatening meaning. However, he could kill him easily. What right did the zombie have to threaten him? "Ha ha!" The zombie in green sneered. "If I didn't say that, would you let me go?" Listening to the other party's words, Su Chun wondered if he knew that he was going to die, so he decided to go all out. He couldn't be bothered to guess if that was the case. He raised his hand and shot out a wind blade, cutting off the zombie in green's head. The moment the zombie in green fell, the rest of the zombies regained their original nature and pounced on Su Chun. Even the zombies in the village rushed over together with them. Su Chun used a few spells and killed them all easily. Looking at a few rays of light on the ground, he was about to pick them up when a ray of red light suddenly shot out from the zombie in green's corpse and charged toward him. It happened so suddenly, and the red light was as fast as lightning. Su Chun didn't have time to defend himself. However, he didn't care. After his cultivation had advanced to level 4, the strength of his physical body had also increased accordingly. In addition, the most important point was that at level 4, the ancient Godfiend body would be immune to any level 4 attacks, and even level 5 attacks would at most cause him some injuries. Although the red light was fast, the power it emitted was definitely below level 5. Even a level 4 would have a hard time dealing with it. Su Chun didn't have to worry about anything. In the next moment, the red light directly hit Su Chun's chest. It was like hitting a steel plate, making a loud bang sound, and then it was bounced back. Su Chun narrowed his eyes and locked onto the red light. Soon, a crimson worm that was half a meter long and emitting a red glow appeared in his vision. It looked like a giant maggot, very disgusting. Su Chun didn't know what kind of bug this was, but since it dared to sneak attack him, he naturally wouldn't let it go. His mental strength instantly spread out and lifted the red worm into the air. Senior, I was wrong. I won't do it again. Please let me go this time. After struggling for a while, the crimson worm realized that it could not break free from the shackles and started to beg for mercy. The voice sounded exactly the same as the green-clothed zombie that had been killed. Su Chen exclaimed softly. He sized up Crimson Bug and snorted. It seems that the zombie is controlled by you. The Crimson Bug and the green-clothed zombie had the same voice. After the green-clothed zombie died, the Crimson Bug did not die. Because of this, he became suspicious. Senior's eyes are sharp. That zombie was indeed under my control. Shuegu had learned his lesson this time. He did not dare to hide anything and answered honestly. Stop flattering me. Su Chen's face darkened, and he said coldly, Which race do you belong to? Tell me the truth. I'm from the Blood Clan. Crimson Bug was so scared that he shivered. You're from the Blood Clan too? Why are you different from the Blood Clan? Su Chen asked in a deep voice. Not only had he seen the Blood Clan, but he had also killed more than 10 of them. Crimson Bug also claimed to be from the Blood Clan. However, judging from their appearances, they were completely different races. Senior, you've seen the Blood Clan? Crimson Bug was surprised. Do I need to report to you whether I've seen them or not? Su Chen's voice turned cold. He stared at Crimson Bug and snorted, Answer my question now. Chapter 263. Back in the car, Su Chen ordered, Satoshi, continue to the Black Rock City. After that, he sat in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. However, there was always a smile on the corner of his mouth. This time, although there were not many zombies killed and only a few fragments were dropped, there was a purple gold fragment, which undoubtedly made him very satisfied. The intelligent war chariot moved forward slowly. The others had nothing to do, so they gathered together to play landlord as usual. In the next 3 days, Su Chen did not kill any zombies. It was not that he did not encounter any zombies, but the number of zombies was too small. The most he encountered was 30 or 40 zombies, which was not worth killing. On the 4th day, the Black Rock City finally appeared on the central control screen. The intelligent war chariot's detection range was 200 kilometers, which meant that it was less than 200 kilometers away from the Black Rock City. Su Chen was a little excited and looked at the Black Rock City. When he saw that there was not a single red dot in the Black Rock City, only a few blue dots, his face became a little stiff. No red dots meant that there were no zombies. They had come all the way here just to kill zombies. Now that there was not a single zombie to be seen, what was there to kill? These days were equivalent to wasting time. What happened? Su Chen pondered. Previously, Su Wuhua said that there were more than 100,000 humans in the Black Rock City, but it was later captured by zombies. In this way, the number of zombies should have reached a terrifying number. The current situation was a little strange. After pondering for a while, he still decided to go to the Black Rock City to take a look. He suspected that the zombies in the Black Rock City were likely to have left. If he could find some clues and follow the clues, there was still a chance to find the whereabouts of the zombies. 2 hours later, the intelligent war chariot slowly drove in front of a huge city. This city was the Black Rock City. This city is so big. Chao Ran sighed with emotion. The Black Rock City, in terms of scale, was even larger than the King Kong City. It was a magnificent sight. The city walls were made of some black boulders, and each boulder weighed about several tons. However, Black Rock City was severely damaged. Most of the city walls had collapsed, and most of the buildings in the city were in ruins. It was as if a great battle had taken place. Su Chen let the intelligent chariot stop in front of a collapsed city wall. After getting out of the car, he entered the city through the collapsed area. This time, he entered mainly to find the few humans here and ask them about the situation. Therefore, the others were left in the car. Through the observation on the central control screen, Su Chen locked onto the specific location of the few humans. Then he sped up and rushed towards them. 10 minutes later, he appeared in front of a small building. This small building was relatively well preserved. It was surrounded by a wall made of stones, and some crops were planted inside. Su Chen glanced around and walked straight to the entrance of the courtyard. He shouted inside, "Is anyone there?" Since he was here to inquire about the situation, it was inconvenient for him to barge in. Soon, a stooped old man walked out of the small building. He first glanced outside vigilantly, then shouted at Su Chen, "Who are you?" "Old man, I'm just a passerby. I have something to ask you. Don't worry, I won't disturb you for long. In addition, I will pay some energy stones as a reward," Su Chen said loudly. The stooped old man hesitated for a moment, then walked forward to open the courtyard door. When he saw that there was only Su Chen outside, and that he was very young, he was slightly relieved. "Young man, what's the matter?" Chapter 264. Out of caution, the old man didn't invite Su Chen into the house. Su Chen could understand and didn't mind. He asked, "Weren't there a lot of zombies here before? Why are there no zombies now?" "There used to be a lot of zombies here, but they were all attacked by the sea beasts and ran away," the old man replied. Su Chen's eyes lit up. He asked urgently, "How many sea beasts were there? Did they come from the Forgotten Worries Sea?" The sea beasts were actually a type of mutant beast, but one lived in the sea while the other lived on land. Su Chen thought that since the mutant beasts could drop fragments, killing the sea beasts should also drop fragments. In this way, even if he couldn't kill any zombies, killing some sea beasts would be worthwhile. The sea beasts do live in the Forgotten Worries Sea, and their numbers have reached a terrifying level. "I'm afraid there are millions of them," the old man said in a deep voice. "Millions of them? How many fragments could he get if he killed all of them?" Su Chen was excited. He continued to ask, "Why did the sea beasts attack the zombies here? Normally, the sea beasts wouldn't go ashore easily. It was even rarer for them to take the initiative to attack zombies." The hunchbacked old man thought for a while and replied, "I heard it from someone else. It seems that the leader of the zombies stole an egg from a sea demon beast and was retaliated by the sea demon beast." Su Chen frowned and asked, "Old man, did you just say that one sea beast drove away all the zombies here? There were at least tens of thousands of zombies in the Black Rock City, and one sea beast was able to drive them away? How strong was the sea demon beast? It must be at least a level 5 sea beast." The hunchbacked old man nodded. "There is indeed one. However, that sea demon beast is extremely powerful. I heard that it has already reached level 5. As expected, Su Chen said to himself. He continued to ask, "What kind of sea beast was it? Where did it usually live?" The hunchbacked old man was slightly surprised. He always felt that Su Chen seemed to be very interested in the sea beasts. He then asked, "Young man, why are you asking about the whereabouts of the sea demon beasts? You're not going to hunt it, are you?" After he finished speaking, even he himself was shocked. A level 5 sea demon beast couldn't even hide from him. Who would want to die to hunt him down? Su Chen smiled but did not explain. He continued, "Elder, just tell me." The hunchbacked old man didn't think too much about it and said directly, "He's a giant tortoise, the size of a house. Every day at noon, I would go to the beach to bask in the sun for a while. The rest of the time I would hide in the sea." "Elder, how do you know so clearly?" Su Chen was a little puzzled. He could tell that the stooped old man was just an ordinary person. How would an ordinary person dare to observe the daily routine of a level 5 sea demon beast? The old man explained, "Not far from the beach, there is a forest. Every day we would go there to collect some wild fruits and vegetables. Over time, we learned more about the sea beast." Su Chen nodded and asked, "After the zombies here were defeated, where did they go?" The old man shook his head. Zombies were the enemy of human beings. Who would go back to find out the whereabouts of the zombies? Seeing this, Su Chen didn't ask any more questions. Although he didn't find the whereabouts of the zombies, he learned about the existence of a level 5 sea demon beast. This trip was not a loss. "Elder, thank you for your information. These things are for you." Su Chen took out some food and a dozen energy stones from his storage bag and gave them to the old man. He then turned and left. Chapter 265. Looking at the food and energy stones in his hand, the old man was pleasantly surprised. These things were not worth mentioning to Su Chun, but to him it was no different from a huge fortune. Just as the old man was about to thank Su Chun, he realized that Su Chun was nowhere to be seen. What a fast speed! Could he be an evolver? The hunchbacked old man muttered. As soon as Su Chun returned to the intelligent war chariot, Chao Ran and the other two came up to him with smiles on their faces. Chun Go, did you find any traces of zombies? They had not killed any zombies for a few days, and the three of them were bored. Su Chun shook his head. The zombies in Black Rock City have all run away, and I don't know where they went. So we came here for nothing? Yang Hao sighed. It took them a few days to come here from Heaven Temple City, and although they had some gains, it was still limited. If they went to other places, they might have killed tens of thousands of zombies. It's not a wasted trip, Su Chun said with a smile. Even if we can't kill zombies, we can kill sea beasts. In fact, killing sea beasts was more cost-effective than killing zombies. This was because after killing it, in addition to obtaining energy stones and fragments, the sea monster's meat could also be eaten. Hearing that they were going to kill sea beasts, Yang Hao and the other two's eyes lit up. Even Wu Yang and Yang Lingtian were interested. Su Chun, are we going to the Forgotten Worries Sea to kill sea beasts? Wu Yang asked. Sea beasts, as the name suggested, lived in the sea, and the Forgotten Worries Sea was the closest to them. The sea beasts in the Forgotten Worries Sea must be killed. But before that, let's kill a level 5 giant turtle first, Su Chun said. Level 5 sea beasts were hard to come by, and a level 5 energy stone was priceless, and there was also a lot of meat to eat. Since they had encountered one, they could not let go of this opportunity. Level 5 sea demon beast. Hearing this, everyone's faces were filled with fear. Although their strength had greatly increased, facing a level 5 sea demon beast, they would probably be killed in one move. However, when they thought about how Su Chun could easily kill a level 5 mutated tribe member, it shouldn't be a problem for him to kill a sea demon beast of the same level. Chun Go, when are we going to make our move? Sherdaniu approached Su Chun and asked. In his opinion, if Su Chun wanted to kill that giant tortoise, he would definitely be able to. After that, wouldn't he be able to have a full meal? 1,000-year tortoise and a 10,000-year tortoise. A giant tortoise that could reach level 5 must have lived for a long time, and its nutritional value must be very high. Boiling soup, roasting meat, that taste, Sherdaniu's imagination began to run wild. He couldn't wait to hunt that level 5 giant tortoise. Su Chun knew what Sherdaniu was thinking. He smiled and said, let's rest here today and hunt tomorrow afternoon. The level 5 giant tortoise would only come out at noon, and it was already close to evening, so they could only wait until tomorrow. After that, Su Chun took out the universal oven and the 2 mutated beasts and asked Yang how to prepare dinner. He walked to the central control screen and looked at it. Soon, he saw a large number of red dots appear on the central control screen, and they were located at the Daylily Ocean. The hunchbacked old man had said before that there were millions of sea demons in the Daylily Ocean. This number might be an exaggeration, but there were more than 100,000. Facing so many sea demons, Su Chun was naturally tempted. However, if he wanted to hunt sea demons, he had to enter the Daylily Ocean. He had never experienced this before, and he didn't know how to enter the ocean to hunt. Chapter 266. Satoshi, can you sail in the sea? Su Chun asked. If he wanted to hunt the sea demon beasts in the sea, he would need a carrier. If the intelligent chariot could sail in the sea, it would be much easier to hunt sea beasts. Master, I need to reach level 5 before I can sail in the sea. Su Chun nodded. The intelligent chariot was at most level 3. 5. It was still far from level 5. If that was the case, he would have to think of other ways to hunt sea beasts. Su Chun heaved a sigh of relief and did not dwell on this matter anymore. Food had to be eaten one mouthful at a time, and things had to be done one by one. First, he had to deal with the level 5 giant tortoise. The next day, the intelligent chariot drove towards a beach near the Forget Worries Ocean. The map on the central control screen showed that there was only one beach near the Forget Worries Ocean. The rest of the coast was filled with reefs and cliffs. Moreover, Su-chun also noticed that there was a forest not far from the beach. This was basically the same as what the hunchback old man said. This meant that the beach was where the level 5 giant turtle sunbathed. When the intelligent chariot drove into the forest, Su-chun asked it to stop. After saying a few words to the others, he went to the beach alone. The level 5 sea beasts were very powerful. To avoid any injuries, he decided to hunt them alone. As he came early, there was still some time before noon. Su-chun strolled in the forest. After about half an hour, just as he was about to leave the forest and head to the beach, he heard light footsteps. "Someone is coming?" Su-chun frowned and turned to look in the direction of the sound. Soon, 4 men and a woman appeared in his line of sight. When he saw their faces, Su-chun was slightly stunned. Among the 5 of them, he happened to know one of them. It was the hunchback old man. "Old man, you're here to dig for wild vegetables again." Su-chun greeted him from afar. Hearing someone shouting, the hunchbacked old man looked around. When he saw that it was Su-chun, a hint of surprise appeared on his face. "Young man, why are you here?" With that, he led the other 4 people to Su-chun's side. Although he had only met Su-chun once, his impression of Su-chun was still very good. Su-chun had only asked a few simple questions yesterday and had given a rich reward. His generosity made him feel a little embarrassed. "I'm here to take a look at the level 5 giant tortoise," Su-chun said with a smile. "You can take a look, but don't get too close." The hunchbacked old man didn't think too deeply about it, and only gave a kind reminder. Su-chun did not explain. He looked at the sky and asked, "Old man, does that level 5 giant turtle come out to bask in the sun every day?" It was already close to noon, but the level 5 giant tortoise was nowhere to be seen. This made him a little anxious. "I've been here no less than 100 times. As long as the time is right, I can see it," the hunchbacked old man explained. "That's good." Su-chun nodded slightly and shifted his gaze to the beach. At this moment, there was a sudden surge in the sea. Immediately after, a huge figure emerged from the sea. The first thing that came into view was a huge tortoise shell with a diameter of more than 50 meters, like a small hill. "It's finally out." Su-chun was instantly excited, and his eyes were filled with a layer of heat. Chapter 267. Thump, thump. After the giant tortoise surfaced from the sea, it slowly walked towards the beach. With every step it took, it made a loud thud on the ground. "It really is a level 5 sea demon beast," Su-chun muttered to himself. His gaze never left the giant tortoise. Although he was far away, he could still feel the immense pressure emanating from the giant tortoise. "Old man, do you know the name of this giant tortoise?" Su-chun asked the hunchbacked old man before the giant tortoise had completely climbed onto the beach. There were many different types of giant tortoises. Being able to reach level 5 meant that it was definitely a very powerful tortoise. "I've heard someone mention it before. I think it's a heavenly overlord tortoise," the hunchbacked old man replied. "The name sounds pretty impressive. I wonder how strong it is?" Su-chun muttered. He had only been in this world for a little more than a year, so he didn't know much. This was the first time he had heard of the heavenly overlord tortoise. When the hunchbacked old man and the others heard this mumble, they felt rather confused. The way he looked at Su-chun also became strange. Judging from Su-chun's tone, it seemed like he didn't care about the heavenly overlord tortoise at all. "Young man, it's a level 5 sea demon beast. Moreover, it's unusually strong among level 5 beasts. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to chase away the tens of thousands of zombies in Blackstone City." A middle-aged man behind the hunchbacked old man reminded Su-chun. "If that's the case, it does have some strength." Su-chun rubbed his nose, still looking unconcerned. "Young man, don't tell me you're thinking about this giant tortoise?" The hunchbacked old man probed. Although he felt that this idea was a little ridiculous, he still couldn't resist it. Su-chun smiled and didn't say anything. Instead, he turned his attention back to the heavenly overlord tortoise. At this moment, the heavenly overlord tortoise had already found a place to lie down on the beach and lazily basked in the sun. This guy sure knows how to enjoy himself. The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched. He turned to the hunchbacked old man and said, "Old man, you'd better stay away. I'm gonna catch a turtle." When fighting with a level 5 sea demon beast, the area affected was very wide. The hunchbacked old man and the others were all ordinary people. If they were too close, it would be easy for them to get injured. Su Chen kindly reminded them, "What do you mean? Are you going to hunt the heavenly overlord turtle?" The hunchbacked old man and the others were dumbfounded. They thought they had misheard. Could a level 5 heavenly profound tortoise be killed? Even a level 5 evolver would have to retreat if they saw it. Could Su Chen be a level 5 evolver? The answer was obvious. Su Chen looked less than 20 years old. Even if he was an evolver, he could not be that strong. Then what right did he have to boast that he wanted to kill a level 5 heavenly overlord turtle? This was 2F** king ridiculous. Even if he wanted to show off, he couldn't do it like this, right? However, when they saw Su Chen running toward the heavenly overlord turtle, they immediately realized that Su Chen was really going to hunt the heavenly overlord turtle. "Grandpa, is he crazy?" A little girl behind the hunchbacked old man screamed. "Even if he wants to die, he can't do it like this, right? Isn't it good to be alive? Why do you want to die? Is he crazy?" The other 3 men all agreed that Su Chen was definitely going to die. They all expressed their opinions. The hunchbacked old man looked at Su Chen and sighed deeply. What a good young man. Why does he have to do it like this? Chapter 268. On the other side, Su Chen ran towards the heavenly black tortoise at a moderate pace. When the two were less than 50 meters apart, the heavenly black tortoise seemed to have sensed something and opened its eyes slightly. In its line of sight, a young human was approaching it. At this moment, it had a very strange feeling in its heart. Is this human here to die? Or is he going to treat me as food? Thinking that it had just had a full meal and that this human was not enough to fill the gaps between its teeth, the heavenly black tortoise opened its mouth and spat out a water arrow that shot straight towards Su Chen. Although it did not know why Su Chen was there, as long as he dared to disturb its sleep, he would have to die. The power of the level 5 water arrow technique was no joke. Even a level 5 evolver would not have an easy time facing it. After shooting the water arrow, the heavenly black tortoise closed its eyes again. In its opinion, Su Chen was just a weak human and would not be able to resist the water arrow no matter what. He would definitely die. Is he going to die just like that? The hunchbacked old man in the forest in the distance seemed to be unable to bear to see Su Chen's miserable end. He sighed deeply and closed his eyes. He would not die if he did not seek death. How could he provoke the heavenly black tortoise? When the others saw that the heavenly black tortoise had released a spell attack, they shook their heads and sighed. They were certain that Su Chen would definitely die. When Su Chen saw a thick water arrow shooting straight towards him, the corners of his mouth twitched slightly, and he immediately used the golden scales on arms. When his arms shone with golden light, he punched the water arrow. There was a loud boom. The water arrow was smashed by the punch and turned into water droplets that shot out in all directions. The level 5 water arrow technique was very powerful. Even though it was smashed, it still smashed the surrounding ground, creating holes of various sizes. Su Chen bore the brunt of the impact and was covered by large amounts of water droplets. However, with the ancient godfiend body, this power naturally could not hurt him at all. Countless water droplets splashed on his body and bounced off one after another, as if they were tickles. Seeing this scene, the people around the hunchbacked old man roared in shock. F***CK. He's too strong. He's also an evolver. But even an evolver can't shatter a level 5 water arrow with a single punch, right? Is he a level 6 evolver? Su Chen smashing the water arrow technique with a single punch made them feel incomparably inconceivable and shocked. What was going on? The hunchbacked old man didn't understand what was going on. He quickly opened his eyes, and when he saw Su Chan appear in his line of sight, and scathed, his jaw dropped. He didn't die? Not even a level 5 spell could kill him. Am I seeing things, or does he really have the ability to resist a level 5 spell? For a moment, the hunchbacked old man's mind was in a mess. Su Chan shattered the water arrow and sped up toward the heavenly black tortoise. The mysterious heavenly overbearing tortoise, which had its eyes closed, suddenly heard footsteps that were getting clearer and clearer. Anger surged in its heart. Damn it! After killing one, another would come. How many reckless people were there in this world? Do they really think that I'm easy to bully? The heavenly black tortoise thought that Su Chan had been killed, and the approaching footsteps came from another person. However, when it opened its eyes and saw that it was still Su Chan, it was stunned. Why isn't he dead yet? Am I seeing things? The heavenly black tortoise felt that the scene in front of it was very unreal. One had to know that it had released a level 5 spell just now. Who could block it? Only a level 6 evolver could block the attack of a level 5 spell unscathed. How could this weak human in front of it be a level 6 evolver? This was the biggest joke in the world. Then, a purple light flashed under his feet. With a whoosh, he disappeared without a trace. His speed was as fast as a ghost. The heavenly overlord tortoise opened its mouth slightly, and its heart trembled violently. Su Chen's speed was too fast. It seemed to have completely surpassed the level of a level 5 evolver. It was the first time in its life that it had seen such speed. When it realized that Su Chan had disappeared, it realized that it was in danger. It quickly got up from the ground and looked around vigilantly. Soon, it discovered that Su Chan was charging at it from the side. You're courting death. The heavenly overlord tortoise sneered in its heart. Although Su Chan was very strong, it was very advantageous for him to choose to fight in close combat. This was because it only needed to open its mouth to swallow Su Chan. At that time, no matter how powerful Su Chan was, he could only become its food. Chapter 270. Just as Su Chan was about to reach it, the heavenly overlord tortoise quickly turned its head and bit at Su Chan. It was as fast as lightning and appeared in front of Su Chan in an instant. If it moved a little closer, it would be able to swallow Su Chan whole. Let's see how you escape this time. The heavenly overlord tortoise laughed proudly. At such a close distance, Su Chan had no time to dodge at all. He would definitely be swallowed. You're too naive. Su Chan smiled contemptuously. When the heavenly overlord tortoise's mouth was about to bite him, he spread out his mentality. Level 4 mentality. The heavenly overlord tortoise was shocked. Level 4 mentality might not be able to restrain it, but it severely hampered its speed. It would be impossible for it to swallow Su Chan in one bite. Crunch! The heavenly overlord tortoise finally bit down, but it bit the air. It didn't even touch Su Chen's clothes. At this time, Su Chan had already appeared on top of the heavenly overlord tortoise's head. He held a pitch-black battle sword with both hands and slashed it down. It was like a god descending from the heavens. His power was unstoppable. Sensing the approaching aura of death, the heavenly overlord tortoise shrank back in fear. In the face of Su Chen's attack, it knew that the best way to deal with it was to shrink its head into its turtle shell and become a real turtle that retreated into its shell. However, Su Chen's attack was too fast. It didn't even have time to react. The heavenly overlord tortoise had no choice but to open its mouth and spit out a water arrow to block the attack. Rip! The moment the water arrow shot out, it was split in half by the enchanted sword. It's over. The heavenly overlord tortoise's heart turned cold when it saw the water arrow being split apart like paper. Su Chan slashed down with his sword. Clang! The heavenly overlord tortoise had a huge gash on its head. Blood splattered everywhere, and even its skull was shattered. After suffering such a heavy blow, the heavenly profound overlord tortoise only felt a splitting headache as its brain rumbled incessantly. After swaying a few times, it crashed heavily onto the ground, causing the ground to tremble uncontrollably. However, although it was heavily injured, it did not die. It was not to say that his defense was strong enough to withstand this strike. It was because Su Chun wanted to keep it alive, so he withdrew most of his strength halfway. Otherwise, this slash would have directly cut off its head. Su Chun stepped on the heavenly overlord turtle's head and said in an icy voice, "Old turtle, I'll give you a chance to live. Be my spirit pet and I won't kill you." If he wanted to hunt sea monsters in the Forget Worries Ocean, he needed a carrier. Thus, he planned to keep the heavenly overlord turtle as his spirit pet. The heavenly overlord turtle's body was huge, and it was also very powerful. With its help, killing the sea monsters would be as easy as pie. No matter how big the Forget Worries Ocean was, it was free to roam. Moreover, if he wanted to leave Chinyu Island in the future and head to other islands or the mysterious heavenly mainland, he would have to enter the ocean. The dangers in the ocean were unknown. With the heavenly overlord turtle as his mount, it would definitely increase his safety. Upon hearing this, the heavenly overlord turtle's big eyes rolled around. As a level 5 sea monster, its intelligence had long been activated. Naturally, it could understand the meaning of Su Chen's words. However, a level 5 sea monster had its dignity. Moreover, it was the overlord of the Forget Worries Ocean. Naturally, it would not be willing to become someone's spirit pet. Under Su Chen's cold gaze, the heavenly overlord turtle retracted its head into its shell and turned around to fly toward the Forget Worries Ocean. It had calculated very clearly that as long as it escaped into the ocean, Su Chun would not be able to do anything to it. The idea was good, but the reality was cruel. Would Su Chun give it this chance? The answer was obvious. Su Chen's face was full of sarcasm. Then, he raised his hands and shot an icicle and a green ball of light at the heavenly overlord turtle. It froze on the spot. Chapter 271. The sight of the heavenly overlord tortoise scampering away felt surreal to the hunchbacked old man and the others. The overlord of the Forgotten Worries Ocean, an existence that could crush tens of thousands of zombies in Black Rock City, was being beaten into a coward by a human? Did it not care about its dignity as a level 5 sea monster? Or was Su Chun really powerful enough to crush a level 5 sea monster? On the other side, half of the heavenly overlord tortoise's body was frozen after being hit by the icicle. Its limbs were also entangled by vines, and it could not move at all. Although the icicle spell and the wood element entanglement spell were only level 4, they had combined with their conjured objects, and their power had surpassed level 5 spells. It was reasonable that the heavenly overlord tortoise could be pinned to the ground by these two spells. He's a psychic master, and a dual elemental psychic master. Realizing this, the heavenly overlord tortoise's heart was filled with a deep sense of fear. Previously, Su Chun had already displayed the strength of a psychic master and an evolver. Now, he had also released spells. This proved that Su Chun was a full-time cultivator. Moreover, they had all reached level 4 and above. Facing a monster like Su Chun, the heavenly overlord tortoise felt a deep sense of powerlessness. It knew that if it continued to stubbornly resist, it would only be waiting to be slaughtered. So, it simply stopped struggling. "Old tortoise, why don't you run?" Su Chun had a mocking look on his face as he slowly walked up to it. "Woo-woo." The heavenly overlord tortoise lowered its head and crawled at Su Chen's feet. It hoped to use this method to obtain Su Chen's forgiveness. It was also a clear indication of their willingness to submit. Su Chun originally wanted to teach it a lesson, but seeing how pitiful the heavenly overlord tortoise was and how tactful it was, he did not lower himself to its level. After a while, he took out a bottle of pet potion from his storage bag and fed it to the heavenly overlord tortoise. Soon, the heavenly overlord tortoise became docile. It looked at Su Chun with reverence. Su Chun retracted the ice and wood element spells and patted the heavenly overlord tortoise's huge head. He whispered, "Overlord, wait for me here. Don't go anywhere." Since he had taken the heavenly overlord tortoise, he naturally had to change the way he called it. The name Xiaoba was very appropriate. Woo-woo. The heavenly overlord tortoise kept nodding. It looked just like a pet tortoise. After subduing the heavenly overlord turtle and obtaining a mount, Su Chen's next step was to go out to sea and hunt for sea monsters. Before that, he had to bring Wu Yang and the others with him. Then Su overlord tortoises. When they passed through the forest, the hunchbacked old man and the others came up to greet them. Their attitudes were extremely respectful, and they kept calling out, "Senior." Lord of Overlord Tortoise of Lin. Of Lin was. After seeing Su Chen's strength, how would he dare to use the previous title to talk to Su Chen? Su Chen smiled. "Old man, just call me Su Chen. Is there anything else?" Did you subdue the heavenly overlord tortoise?" Lu's overlord tortoise probed. The reason why he asked this question was purely out of curiosity. "It's my spirit pet now," Su Chen replied. "If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave." "No problem," Lu's overlord tortoise hurriedly replied. When Su Chen disappeared from sight, the little girl beside Lu's overlord tortoise clicked her tongue. "Grandpa, Big Brother is too powerful. He can even subdue the heavenly overlord tortoise." Lu's overlord tortoise nodded. Subduing a level 5 demonic beast was much more difficult than killing one. It was obvious that Su Chen's overlord tortoise was more terrifying than they had imagined. Chapter 272. Su Chen passed through the woods and quickly returned to the intelligent war chariot. "Chun Gu, did you kill the giant turtle?" Chao Ran asked with a smile. "No." Su Chen shook his head. "Didn't kill it?" The people in the chariot were confused. Su Chen had always been invincible in their eyes. Could it be that the giant turtle was so powerful that even Su Chen couldn't do anything to it? "Chun Gu, did you let that giant tortoise get away?" Yang Hao voiced out his thoughts. He thought the giant turtle must have run away because it couldn't defeat Su Chen. "I took it as a spiritual pet," Su Chen explained with a smile. "Took it as a spiritual pet? A level 5 sea monster could be taken as a spiritual pet?" Everyone was surprised. Generally speaking, the more powerful a mutant beast was, the harder it was to tame it. It was rare to tame a level 5 mutant beast as a spiritual pet. In addition, everyone was a little excited. Because of the addition of a level 5 mutant beast, their strength had undoubtedly increased by a large margin. Wu Yang seemed to have thought of something. He frowned slightly and said to Su Chen, "Su Chen, is that giant turtle really the size of a house?" "It's much bigger than an ordinary house." Su Chen nodded. "It's so big that it can't fit in the chariot," Wu Yang reminded. The intelligent war chariot was only about 50 meters at its largest state. It might not be as big as the giant turtle, so it definitely couldn't fit in. Since it couldn't fit, how could they bring this big guy with them? Could they let it follow them around every day? However, it was a sea monster after all. Could it be fine if it left the sea for a long time? Su Chen had already considered this point. He had a pet breeding space. As long as he leveled up a few more times, the space would be big enough to place the heavenly overlord turtle inside. "Don't worry, I have my ways." Su Chen smiled and then told them about his plan to go to the Forget Worries Sea to hunt sea monsters. Everyone's eyes lit up when they heard that they were going to hunt sea beasts. They had lived inland since they were young and had only heard of the sea, but had never seen it. This time, when he went to hunt the sea beasts, he would be able to see the magnificence of the sea. "Chun Gu, when are we leaving?" Yang Hao was a little impatient. "Let's go now," Su Chen replied and ordered the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, head to the beach." Yes. The intelligent war chariot started and drove straight to the beach. While passing through the forest, Su Chen did not see the stooped old man and the others. He must have returned to Black Rock City. Not long after, the intelligent war chariot arrived in front of the Heavenly King Turtle. After everyone got out of the car and saw the huge monster in front of them, they all gasped. Before they came, they already knew that the Heavenly Black Turtle was a big fellow. However, after seeing it with their own eyes, they were still extremely shocked. "Little turtle, they are all my friends. You have to get along well with each other in the future." Su Chen walked forward and stroked the heavenly overlord tortoise's head as he instructed. The heavenly black turtle made a woo-woo sound as if it was greeting everyone. This big fellow is so cute. Tan Lin's interest was piqued. He imitated Su-chan and stroked the heavenly black turtle's big head. The others also followed suit and had a close encounter with the heavenly overlord turtle. Yang Hao and Chao Ran climbed up the turtle shell and looked into the distance. Su-chan returned to the car and contacted the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, can you fix yourself on the turtle shell? Considering that there was a certain risk in going out to sea to hunt sea monsters, if he could continue to stay in the car, he would not have to worry about his safety. Chapter 273. I can make 4 suction cups and attach them to the turtle shell, but I need to upgrade it first, the intelligent war chariot said. How many energy stones do I need to upgrade it? Su-chen's eyes lit up. I need 20 level 2 energy stones. Su-chen did not lack energy stones now, and he had quite a number of level 2 energy stones. Then, he took out 20 level 2 energy stones and placed them in the groove below the central control screen. A minute later, the energy stones disappeared. The intelligent war chariot said, Master, the upgrade is complete. Okay, turn into your smallest form later, and I'll bring you to the top of the turtle shell, Su-chan said as he got out of the car. According to Su-chen's instructions, the intelligent war chariot quickly shrunk to the size of a palm. Su-chan grabbed it and climbed onto the heavenly overlord tortoise's shell. Then he put it down. Satoshi, turn into a 30-meter-long form and attach it to the turtle shell. The intelligent war chariot slowly grew bigger. When it was 30 meters long, 4 suction cups extended from the bottom of the car and firmly attached it to the turtle shell. Su-chan pushed it with his hand, but the intelligent war chariot did not move at all, as if it had become one with the turtle shell. Su-chan was relieved. After a while, he called everyone into the car and ordered the heavenly overlord turtle. Little overlord, enter the sea and hunt the sea beasts. Woo-woo. The heavenly overlord turtle responded and crawled toward the Forget Worries ocean. Su-chan stood in front of the car, squinted his eyes, and looked out. The Forget Worries ocean was different from the ocean he saw in his previous life. The ocean in his previous life was blue, but the ocean here was dark, giving off a gloomy feeling. Su-chan did not care about that. What he cared about was the number of sea beasts. Then, he shifted his gaze to the central control screen. There were tens of thousands of red dots on the central control screen. Seeing that, Su-chen's face was full of smiles. However, in the next moment his smile froze. He stared at the central control screen and muttered, What's going on? Why are all the sea beasts running away? The central control screen clearly showed that the red dots were rapidly moving away from him. Moreover, no matter where the heavenly overlord tortoise swam, the sea monsters would flee. It was as if they knew in advance that someone would hunt them down. This situation was very strange, and it drove Su-chan crazy. The sea beasts were all avoiding him. How was he going to kill them? How could it drop fragments? What's wrong? Su-chan racked his brains. Suddenly, he thought of something. He opened the car door and shouted at the heavenly overlord turtle, Little overlord, retract your aura. If you dare to leak even a little, I'll stew you. As a level 5 demonic beast, the heavenly overlord turtle was an existence that could do whatever it wanted in the Forgotten Worries ocean. If he didn't restrain his aura, those weak sea beasts would be scared out of their wits. Which sea demon beast would be so tired of living that it would dare to stay where it was and wait for the heavenly profound overlord tortoise to kill it? After being scolded by Su-chan, the heavenly profound overlord turtle trembled in fear. It quickly retracted its aura and aura. Soon, it seemed to have turned into a lifeless boulder. Su-chan nodded in satisfaction and looked at the central control screen. Sure enough, it was just as he had guessed. Since they could not sense the heavenly profound overlord turtle's aura, those sea monsters stopped running away. Su-chan found a group of about 3,000 sea monsters. He then instructed the heavenly profound overlord turtle, Little overlord, change direction and head to the left. Chapter 274. The group of sea beasts was 30 kilometers to the left. The heavenly overlord turtle was extremely fast, and it was only a few hundred meters away from the group of sea beasts in less than 10 minutes. Since the heavenly overlord turtle had restrained its aura and pressure, the group of sea beasts did not sense the approaching danger. Su Chun did not have any experience in hunting sea beasts, but he knew that once the group of sea beasts sensed danger, they would definitely flee in all directions. Therefore, once the hunt began, he had to use thunderous means. After thinking about it, he felt that the combination of the thunderstorm technique and the magnetic storm net of the intelligent war chariot should cause huge casualties to the sea beasts. Then, he communicated with the intelligent war chariot and decided on a strategy. When the heavenly overlord turtle was less than 30 meters away from the group of sea beasts, the group of sea beasts sensed the approaching danger and began to flee. Su Chun and the intelligent war chariot also attacked at the same time. Thunderballs shot out from Su Chun's hands and quickly fell into the group of sea beasts. Then, there was a violent explosion, setting off stormy waves, and tens of thousands of lightning bolts wreaked havoc. The strongest sea beasts in this group of sea beasts were only at level 2. How could they resist the thunderstorm technique combined with the wild thunder technique? In the blink of an eye, hundreds of sea beasts died on the spot. The blood that flowed out dyed the dark sea red. On the other side, the intelligent war chariot was also continuously releasing the magnetic storm net. Seawater could conduct electricity, which undoubtedly increased the power of the magnetic storm net. As long as the magnetic storm net covered the area, no sea beasts could escape with their lives. They all became charred corpses. The people in the car could not help but be excited when they saw the thousands of sea beasts' corpses floating on the sea surface. At the same time, they were secretly amazed by the killing speed of Su Chun and the intelligent war chariot. If it were them, they would not even be able to kill 1/10 of the sea beasts. After a few minutes, the killing stopped. More than 2,000 sea beasts had been killed. As the remaining sea beasts had scattered and fled, Su Chun did not continue to chase after them. This was his first time hunting, so he was quite satisfied with his harvest. "Xiao Ba, swim over," Su Chun ordered. After the hunt was over, it was time to dig out the energy stones and pick up the fragments. Since the sea demon beasts had died in large numbers, most of them had gathered together. Therefore, the following work had become much easier. After the heavenly overlord tortoise swam past, everyone got out of the car and started to fish out the corpses of the sea monsters. The sea beasts that were killed were all of the same species, and they all looked a little strange. It had a fish head and a fish body. It was more than a meter long, but it had 4 limbs under its belly. It looked neither fish nor fowl. "Chun Gu, what should we do with these corpses?" Yang Hao dug out an energy stone from the corpse of a sea demon beast and asked Su Chun. The sea demon beasts were edible, but there were more than 2,000 of them. The intelligent war chariot couldn't fit them all. Su Chun thought for a moment and replied, "Stay here. I'll deal with it later." If it was in the past, he would only leave behind a few dozen at most. However, things were different now. There was an additional heavenly overlord tortoise. This guy looked like a foodie just by looking at its body. He had to store more food. "Got it, Chun Gu," Yang Hao replied and continued to fish out the sea monsters. Su Chun began to pick up the fragments. This time, more than 300 fragments were dropped. There were fragments of various colors. They intertwined with each other and appeared colorful. They were shiny and dazzling. Su Chun glanced at them, and a purple-gold fragment soon appeared in his sight. Chapter 275. Su Chun suppressed his excitement and grabbed it. Picked up 2,000 energy points, fragment *1, 1-1. The fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. After saying that, Su Chun opened the Doomsday Mall and checked it. When he saw that the energy points had reached 5,400 points, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. 5,000 energy points could be exchanged for Blade of Divine Sense, and now it had exceeded the exchange amount. Blade of Divine Sense was also something that Su Chun was determined to get, and he had an impulse to exchange for it immediately. However, in the end, he resisted the urge. because there was still heavenly hundredfold strength technique in front of it. Comparing the two, he still chose heavenly hundredfold strength technique. Therefore, the blade of divine sense could only be moved back a little. Closing the Doomsday Mall, Su Chun continued to pick up fragments. The second was a black fragment. Picked up, torpedo launcher fragment *1, 110. The fragments are not full, cannot be used, can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. Torpedo launcher was something that appeared for the first time. Considering that it was hunting good beasts in the sea, if he could collect enough torpedo launcher and install it on the intelligent chariot, he would definitely be able to hunt more sea beasts. Su Chun was a little tempted. Torpedo launcher was useful now. If the remaining fragments could not be collected, he planned to exchange for it through the Doomsday Mall. In short, he would not miss anything that could help him hunt sea beasts. After calming himself down, he grabbed one of the black fragments. Picked up Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword, fragment *1, 100. The fragments are not full, cannot be used, can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword was a weapon from the name, and it was definitely a very powerful weapon. Because the number of fragments needed to be collected reached 100, which was equivalent to the ancient God-fiend body. The enchanted divine saber that Su Chun obtained earlier, although it was only exchanged for 3 fragments, was very powerful. Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword required 100 fragments, which was more than 30 times the enchanted divine saber. From this, it could be inferred that the Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword must be a powerful magic weapon. Originally, he planned to exchange for the through heaven hundredfold vigorous strength technique first, but the appearance of the Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword made him a little uncertain. Su Chun took a deep breath and calmed himself down. He didn't want to be entangled in this aspect. There was still a gap of nearly 5,000 energy points. There was no point in thinking too much now. Then, he continued to pick up the fragments. Picked up Hard Fruit Fragment *1, 1. The fragment is full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Exchange for energy points. Picked up Upgrade Gem, Fragment *1, 1. The fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Picked up Torpedo Launcher, Fragment X1, 10. Full of fragments, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Su Chun was extremely excited. An hour later, all the fragments were collected, and the last fragment was the torpedo launcher. Previously, he had collected 9 fragments, and with this one, he had reached the standard to use it. As soon as he obtained the torpedo launcher, Su Chun consumed a fusion gem and installed it on the intelligent war vehicle. As the name suggested, the torpedo launcher was used to launch torpedoes. Each torpedo required 100 energy stones to be converted. There was no level limit to the energy stones. Regardless of whether it was an ordinary energy stone or a high-level energy stone, the power of the torpedo was the same. A single torpedo could kill 300 sea demon beasts below level 3. Chapter 276. After installing the torpedo launcher, Su Chun took out all the upgrade gems and expanded the storage bag to 200 cubic meters in one breath. Then, he began to collect the corpses of the sea monsters. 2 hours later, all the energy stones were dug out, and the corpses of the sea monsters were all collected into the storage bag. Su Chun began to look for the traces of the sea monsters. Soon, he found a group of about 1,000 sea monster beasts, and they were 10 kilometers away. Satoshi, lock onto the position of the sea monsters and prepare to launch the torpedoes. In order to test the power of the torpedo launcher, Su Chun decided to let the intelligent war chariot take action. The torpedo launcher's maximum range was 50 kilometers, which was enough to hit the group of sea monsters. Master, how many torpedoes should we launch? The intelligent war chariot asked Su Chun. 1 torpedo was equivalent to 100 energy stones, so the consumption was quite high. Logically speaking, 3 torpedoes should be enough to wipe out the group of sea monsters. However, to be safe, Su Chun still decided to use 4 torpedoes. 4 torpedoes were worth 400 energy stones. If he could get 1,000 energy stones by killing 1,000 sea demon beasts, it would be a profitable deal. Satoshi, launch 4 torpedoes. Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto the target and launched 4 torpedoes in a row. Each torpedo was more than 5 meters long. After falling into the water, they disappeared under the sea and quickly rushed toward the group of sea monsters. Su Chen and the others waited patiently. Soon, 4 violent explosions came from the front, and then 4 monstrous waves soared into the sky. Wu Yang and the others were stunned, and their faces were filled with excitement. The intelligent war chariot had such a powerful killing weapon, which meant that it could kill even more sea demon beasts. Su Chen glanced at the central control screen. When he saw more than 1,000 red dots disappear, the corners of his mouth rose slightly. The disappearance of the red dots meant that all the sea monsters were killed. Xiaoba, let's go, Su Chen ordered. Woo woo, the heavenly overlord tortoise responded. It flipped its 4 claws and broke through the waves. It swam toward the place where the sea monster beast had been killed. Although his body was huge, his swimming speed was very fast. After 10 minutes, he arrived at his destination. Seeing thousands of good demon beast corpses floating on the surface of the sea, without waiting for Su Chen's order, Yang Hao and the others began to move. Su Chen was not in a hurry to pick up the fragments. He first glanced at them to determine the number. There were more than 100 of them this time, which was more or less what he had expected. Since he didn't find any valuable fragments, he started to pick up the ones closest to him. The first one was a green fragment. Picked up, walking on level ground and wave treading technique. Fragment *1, 1, 3. The fragment is not full, so it cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. No exchange. After saying that, Su Chen was a little moved. From the name of the wave treading technique, it seemed that one could walk on water. If that was the case, wouldn't he be able to swim freely in the Forgotten Worries Sea? With this thought in mind, Su Chen opened the Doomsday Mall and checked the exchange points for the walking on level ground and wave treading technique. When he saw that one fragment was worth 10 energy points, he spent 20 energy points to exchange for 2 fragments without hesitation. After the number was gathered, he received a feedback message. As expected, the walking on level ground and wave treading technique could really allow one to walk on water. Moreover, there would be no consumption during the process of walking. It was as if it was an innate talent. Chapter 277. Su Chen took a deep breath and stepped on the surface of the sea. He felt that there was something soft under his feet, as if he was stepping on grass. It was very comfortable. Through this step, he proved that he could walk on the surface of the sea. After a while, he strode into the sea as if he was walking on flat ground. Sherdaniu was dragging a sea monster up when he suddenly saw a figure in front of him. Someone can walk on the sea? Sherdaniu's head buzzed. He thought that he was seeing things, so he quickly looked at the figure. When he saw that someone was walking on the sea, and it was Su Chen, he was dumbfounded. Sherdaniu's mouth was wide open, and he was completely dumbfounded. Daniu, what's wrong? Hurry up. Chao Ran, who was beside him, saw that Sherdaniu was in a daze and reminded him. Sherdaniu came back to his senses and pointed at Su Chen. He said in a trembling voice, "Brother Chao, Chungu is walking on the sea. What nonsense are you talking about?" Chao Ran didn't think much of it, but he still looked in the direction Sherdaniu was pointing. When he saw that Su Chen was indeed walking on the sea, his eyes almost popped out. He exclaimed, "Oh my God! Chungu can walk on the sea. What was that? Su Chen could walk on the sea?" The others looked at the sea with doubts. In his line of sight, Su Chen seemed to be stepping on flat ground. He walked here and there, reaching down from time to time to grab something. Seeing this, they were all dumbfounded. Standing on the sea as if walking on flat ground, this was too amazing and too incredible. After a long time, Wu Yang couldn't help but ask Su Chen loudly, "Su Chen, how did you do it?" Su Chen knew what Wu Yang was asking. A meaningful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. This is a talent of mine. I didn't have the chance to show it before, but it came in handy today. Talent? Was there such a miraculous talent in this world? Why didn't we? Wu Yong and the others shook their heads. They all knew that talent was something that one was born with. There was no point in being jealous. Moreover, it was not surprising that it appeared on Su Chun. This was because Su Chun himself was an extraordinary person. Could also be said that he was a person who created miracles. There was nothing that Su Chun couldn't do. Yang Hao and Chao Ran looked at each other and exclaimed at the same time, "Chen Ge, you're awesome." After this brief interlude, everyone continued to salvage the corpses of the sea beasts. Since Su Chun could walk freely on the sea, the speed at which he picked up the shards was much faster. In less than half an hour, all the fragments had been collected. Then, he began to collect the corpses of the sea beasts and stored them in his storage pouch. After working for an hour, everyone returned to the intelligent war chariot. After killing 2 waves of sea demon beasts in a row, everyone was a little tired. Moreover, the sky had darkened. Su Chun decided to call it a day. Then, he took out the universal oven and some good sea beasts' corpses and prepared dinner. At this moment, the intelligent war chariot suddenly contacted Su Chun. "Master, I found a large number of thunderstorm stones on a small island 50 kilometers away. What's the use of thunderstorm stones?" Su Chun asked. "The intelligent war chariot has the ability to detect ores. Last time, it detected the star-gathering stone on Zhou Yun's body. After obtaining the star-gathering stone, it upgraded the magnetic storm net to level 3 in one fell swoop." He couldn't help but wonder if the thunderstorm stones also had this function. Chapter 278. The thunderstorm stone can increase the power of the magnetic storm net and the torpedo. It can also help me create a new offensive weapon, the thunderbolt beam, the intelligent war chariot explained. Su Chen's eyes lit up when he heard that. The thunderstorm stone was obviously more useful than the star-gathering stone. He was determined to get such a good thing. After a while, Su Chun looked at the central control screen and observed the island. The central control screen did not show the name of the island, which meant that it was a deserted island. However, to Su Chen's surprise, there was a black spot on the island. "There's an alien creature here." Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered. Up until now, he had encountered quite a few types of non-human creatures. It could be said that every time he encountered an alien creature, he would more or less gain something. He was looking forward to seeing this alien creature on the island. However, it was late now, so he decided to go to the island tomorrow to explore. "Chen Gu, the sea monster's meat is ready. It's delicious. Come and eat." It was also at this moment that Yang Hao shouted. Su Chun withdrew his gaze and walked straight forward. For the rest of the time, everyone sat together, eating barbecued meat and chatting happily. The next morning, Su Chun stood in front of the central control screen and began to look for the whereabouts of the sea monsters. Soon, he found several groups of sea monsters. One of them had more than 1,000 sea monsters and was less than 30 kilometers away from the island. Su Chun planned to go to the island alone and let the others continue to hunt the sea monsters. And this group of sea monsters not far from the deserted island was just right for the job. Then Su Chun gave the heavenly overlord turtle an order. Their target was the group of sea monsters. On the way, he told Wu Yong and the others about going to the deserted island. When they were close to the deserted island, they separated and went to the group of deserted islands alone. The heavenly overlord turtle continued to lead the others to hunt the sea monsters. Su Chun flew on the sea for more than 10 minutes before he set foot on the deserted island. The area of this deserted island wasn't very large. At a glance, it was about 2,000 square meters. There was no vegetation on it, only bare stones. It looked very desolate. Su Chun was not in a hurry to find the alien creature. Instead, he decided to look for the thunderstorm stone first. Since he did not know the exact location of the thunderstorm stone, he could only walk around. As he walked, he released his mind power and penetrated into the ground to search. However, after walking for a while, he did not find any thunderstorm stones. Instead, he discovered something very strange. There were a large number of skeletons buried under the island. Most of them belonged to mutant beasts, but there were also quite a number of human skeletons. One of them was especially large. It was unknown what kind of mutated beast it was when it was alive. Its size was comparable to the heavenly overlord turtle. In addition, the closer they got to the center of the island, the more skeletons there were. Could it be that the creature here is a member of the blood race? Su Chen muttered. Previously, on the way to Blackrock City, he had also discovered a large number of skeletons. It was very likely the work of the blood race. When he thought of this, he began to suspect that the creature here might also be a member of the blood race. After pondering for a while, Su Chen walked straight to the center of the island. When he reached the center, he saw a huge rock lying on the ground like a small mountain. Moreover, on the side of the huge rock there was a cave. It was completely dark inside. Just as Su Chen was about to release his mind power to investigate, a ghostly howl came from the cave. Hee hee, it's a human. I haven't eaten fresh human flesh for a long time. I miss it. Chapter 279. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently, "It's been a few days since I've killed a member of the mutated race. I miss it very much." The other party wanted to show off in front of him. Was that possible? With one sentence, he suppressed the other party's arrogance. "You're from the undead race? No, you're clearly from the human race. Why do you speak the language of the undead race?" A man's hoarse questioning voice came from the cave. Su Chen was slightly stunned. He originally thought that the person in the cave would be from the Blood Clan. He never thought that it would be from the undead race. However, no matter which race he was from, he was not afraid at all. Pursing his lips, Su Chen said disdainfully, "I'm proficient in the languages of thousands of races. A mere undead race is nothing." Arrogant. Soon, an angry roar came from the cave. Then, a figure slowly walked out from inside. As he walked, he threatened, "Boy, you've successfully angered me. I'll make you beg for death." When he saw the appearance of the person, Su Chen's eyelids twitched violently. What appeared in front of him was not a human at all. It was a white skeleton. The skeleton held a thick animal bone in its hand. 2 balls of green flames danced in its 2 deep eye sockets. It gave off a very strange feeling. Su Chen sized it up. His eyes gradually narrowed and he snorted, "Are all the members of the undead race like you?" Hearing this, the flames in the eyes of the undead race jumped violently. Then he said fiercely, "Boy, the undead race is not for a weakling like you to humiliate. You'll pay a heavy price for this." Su Chen pursed his lips and said sarcastically, "Do you mean that as long as you're strong, you can humiliate the undead race?" After being teased by Su Chen, the undead race was about to explode. He roared, "Boy, I want you dead." With that, he pointed the animal bone in his hand at the ground. A white light shot out from it. In an instant, it sank into the ground and disappeared without a trace. Just when Su Chen was a little confused, he suddenly felt the ground tremble. At first, it was relatively mild, but as time passed, it became more and more intense. In the end, he could only hear the sound of something breaking through the ground. What was that sound? Su Chen scanned the area and saw hundreds of skeletons of different sizes. Obviously, these white bones were the ones he had seen underground. In the face of such a strange situation, Su Chen's expression changed slightly, but he quickly recovered. Then, he looked at the undead and said disdainfully, "Is this what you're relying on?" The undead man smiled gloomily and said in a cold voice, "Boy, let's see how long you can pretend." From beginning to end, Su Chen had a calm expression, as if he didn't put him in his eyes at all. This made the undead race very unhappy. Although he couldn't figure out Su Chen's background, Su Chen was young and a weak human. He thought that Su Chen was definitely not a powerful person. The calmness he was showing now was completely pretentious. "Little ones, kill him for me." The undead race didn't intend to talk to Su Chen anymore. He stretched out his hand and pointed at Su Chun, shouting loudly. Receiving the order of the undead race, all the white bones launched an attack on Su Chun together. The one who rushed to the front was a human skeleton. He clenched his fist and smashed it at Su Chun. Su Chun stood in place, motionless, and had no intention of dodging or defending. This was because he had already perceived that the strongest among those white bones was only a level 2 evolver. Most of the rest were level 1 evolvers. He had the ancient god-demon body and was invincible among his peers. How could a mere level 1 or level 2 evolver hurt him? Chapter 281. Now it's my turn. Su Chun sneered. He moved his feet and charged toward the undead race. This time, he had already activated the continue battle boots. His speed soared to the extreme. Like a ghost, he instantly appeared in front of the undead race. You! The undead race was scared out of his wits, and the corners of his mouth trembled. Su Chen's speed had completely exceeded the speed of a level 5 evolved person. He didn't even have time to withdraw his spirit power to defend himself before he saw a golden fist coming toward him. Bang! Gotcha! Su Chen's fist hit the undead race's chest, blowing up half of his body. Although the undead race was a level 5 spirit reader master, his body was only slightly stronger than an ordinary person's. Facing Su Chen's violent attack, he naturally couldn't block it. Ah! The undead screamed and fell heavily to the ground. The remaining half of his skeleton broke apart, and his head was separated from his body. Su Chun walked forward and looked at the undead race with interest. He said lightly, "You undead race are quite capable. You've been beaten to the state, but you're still alive." Although the undead race in front of him only had a head left, the 2 flames in his eye sockets had not extinguished. They were still exuding a faint breath of life. "Human, let me go. I can give you something in exchange," the undead race said weakly. The arrogant and conceited attitude from before had completely disappeared and was replaced by a deep sense of fear. "Tell me, what is it?" Su Chun rubbed his nose. The undead race was now a fish on the chopping board, waiting to be slaughtered. The reason why he didn't make a move was because he was a little suspicious of the thing the undead race was talking about. Was it the thunderstorm stone? If it was, he wouldn't have to look around and would save a lot of time. "I'll use 100 thunderstorm stones to buy my life," the undead race said, gritting his teeth. Although the thunderstorm stone was precious, it was nothing compared to his life. If he could buy a life, it would be very cost-effective. However, he was obviously thinking too much. With Su Chen's style of doing things, how could he let him live? "Tell me the whereabouts of the thunderstorm stone, and I'll give you a quick death." Su Chun stared at the undead clan. His voice was as cold as ice, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Hee. In the face of Su Chen's threat, the undead sneered instead. "You want me to hand over the thunderstorm stone? You're delusional." Since Su Chun was unwilling to let him go, why should he hand over the thunderstorm stone? He was going to die anyway. Before he died, he had to make Su Chun suffer. "You are very courageous. I hope you can continue to be so stubborn." Su Chen's face turned gloomy. As soon as he finished speaking, he stretched out his hand and flicked a ray of lightning at the head of the undead race. A lightning-type spell. "You're a Dharma psychic?" The undead race had just come up with this idea when he was struck by this ray of lightning and cried out. Although Su Chun had only released a small amount of lightning-type magical power, after all, it contained the power of the divine thunder of desolation, and its lethality could not be underestimated. After suffering a round of lightning and thunder, the aura of the undead race slipped rapidly, and he became extremely dispirited. The flames in his eye sockets also dimmed, as if they were about to be extinguished. Su Chun did not say much. He raised his hand and snapped his fingers. Suddenly, a small scarlet flame sprang out between his fingers. Although it was only a small ball, the power of fire it contained was still unusually violent. "I'll see how long you can use your mouth." The corners of Su Chen's mouth curled slightly, and he was about to flick out the flame. "I said, in the cave, Give me a quick death. The undead race was really scared this time and told the truth. Chapter 282. Su Chun released his mind power and extended it into the cave. Soon he found a small pile of ores that emitted lightning waves. Now that he had found the whereabouts of the thunderstorm stone, there was no need for the undead tribe to exist. Su Chun shot out a spell and shattered his head. Then he entered the cave and put the thunderstorm stone into his storage bag. Just as he walked out of the cave, for loud noises came from afar. Su Chun looked in the direction of the huge noises. Then, he retracted his gaze and flew in the direction of the loud noises. These 4 loud noises must have been caused by the torpedoes fired by the intelligent war chariot. This meant that Wu Yang and the others had already started hunting the sea monsters. He had to hurry over to help. On the other side, the intelligent war chariot fired 4 torpedoes and killed all the sea monsters that it had locked onto. At this moment, they were rushing to the hunting area at full speed. Unexpectedly, when they were halfway there, they saw a huge ship in front of them. This huge ship was about 300 meters long and as tall as a 10-story building. It was completely made of brown wood. Looking from afar, it gave off a very shocking feeling. Moreover, not only was it huge, but it was also extraordinarily fast. It was even a little faster than the heavenly overlord turtle. The direction it was heading was also the sea area where the sea monsters were hunted. Captain Wu, are they going to snatch our sea monsters? Yang Hao frowned and reminded him. I hope not. Wu Yang's eyes turned cold as he took a deep breath. The sea monsters were all hunted by their own party. If the other party wanted to snatch them, a huge battle was inevitable. Now that Su Chun was not here, he was the one in charge here. It was inevitable that he would be a little nervous. If they dare to snatch our sea monsters, we'll kill them. Chao Ren shouted softly, his eyes cold. Brother Chao is right. Whoever dares to snatch our things, we'll kill them. Sherdaniu weighed the sky hammer in his hand and said arrogantly, as if he did not care about the huge ship in front of them at all. Wu Yang nodded. A sense of pride welled up in his heart. Get ready. If they don't know what's good for them, we'll teach them a lesson. Although Su Chun was not around, he still had the intelligent chariot, the level 5 overlord turtle, and the level 5 mechanical soldier. In the Forgotten Worries ocean, no matter which force it was, they would not have such powerful strength. Therefore, there was nothing to worry about. When the heavenly overlord turtle swam to the area where the sea demon beasts were killed, more than 100 people had already disembarked from the giant ship. They were in a dozen small boats, fishing for the mutated corpses in the sea. Seeing this, Wu Yang and the others got out of the car. The appearance of the heavenly overlord turtle naturally attracted the other party's attention. At the front of the ship, a burly man in animal skin glanced at Wu Yang and the others and shouted, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" Since the heavenly overlord tortoise had restrained its aura and pressure, it looked like an ordinary sea demon beast and did not attract his attention. The sea demon beasts here were all killed by us. Leave quickly, and I'll pretend that nothing happened. Wu Yang released the aura of a level 3 evolver and warned him. Level 3 evolver. The burly man in animal skin frowned slightly and laughed wildly. You're boasting shamelessly. Do you think you can kill so many sea demon beasts with just you? Although a level 3 evolver was strong, it was not enough to threaten him. Because he was also a level 3 evolver and had many people, he was not afraid of Wu Yang's threat. So you want to force us to attack? Wu Yang's face turned cold. Chapter 283. Do you think you are worthy of fighting us? The beast-skinned man sneered disdainfully, then said with an arrogant face, Do you know who we are? We are from Tan Haiching. Are you blind? How dare you threaten us? Tan Haiching was one of the top forces in the area. The mayor, Tan Sihai, was a powerful level 4 magician. In addition, there were 12 other forces in the area that had formed an alliance with Tan Haiching. They were nicknamed the 13 Cities of the Forgotten Ocean. Other than Tan Hai, who was a level 4 magician, there were 2 other level 4 evolvers. The 13 cities were united. When faced with an external enemy, they would fight together. In the Forgotten Ocean, they were the strongest force. No one dared to provoke them. Therefore, he found Wu Yang's threat ridiculous. Hearing that, Yang Hao and the others all turned to look at Wu Yang angrily. Su Chun was not here, so Wu Yang was their leader. Before they attacked, they had to ask for Wu Yang's opinion. Wu Yang gripped the meteoric iron sword in his hand. Just as he was about to reply, a mocking voice came from afar. Who does Tan Haiqing think he is? Even if the 13 cities of the Forgotten Ocean were added together, they are nothing in my eyes. The Su Chun. He's back. Tan Lin's expression changed. She turned around and looked back. She was too familiar with this voice. It was definitely Su Chen's voice. Chengu. Yang Hao and the others' eyes lit up. The person who had come was Su Chun. When I entered the Forgotten Ocean, I checked the nearby forces on the central control screen. That's how I found out about the 13 cities of the Forgotten Ocean. Although I don't know the strength of the 13 cities, even level 5 evolvers would be killed if they provoked him. Who is so arrogant? Do you want to die? The man with animal skin's face darkened when he heard that someone dared to look down on Tan Haiqing. He looked in the direction of the voice. When he saw a young man coming over on the waves, he was stunned. What's going on? Someone is walking freely on the sea. Am I seeing things? Or was he dreaming? Behind the strong man with animal skin stood more than a dozen subordinates. At this moment, all of them were bewildered. One of the subordinates walked up to the animal skin brawny man and reminded him, "My lord, they don't come with good intentions. What should we do?" The brawny man with animal skin rolled his eyes and a cruel look appeared on his face. He said fiercely, "You're just playing tricks. Those who offend our Tan Haiqing will die. Wait for my signal later." Although it was strange to walk on the waves, it did not prove how strong one was. Especially when he saw how young Su Chun was, he was even less worried. Su Chun. Chun Gu. As Su Chun approached, everyone greeted him in unison. Su Chun smiled faintly, then turned his gaze to the top of the giant ship and said sternly, "Tan Haiqing's people, get lost immediately, or you will be buried here. Let's see who will die today." The strong man with animal skin brawny man's face was ferocious. Then, he waved his hand and shouted angrily, "Attack together and destroy them." As soon as he finished speaking, the dozen small boats that were still fishing for the sea monster's corpses rushed toward Su Chun. At the same time, the giant ship also started moving and crushed toward the heavenly overlord turtle. "You're courting death." Su Chen's eyes turned cold. He held the enchanted divine saber high above his head with both hands. After infusing enough thunder magic power, he slashed at the giant ship from afar. What is he trying to do? In the eyes of the strong man with animal skin brawny man, Su Chen's action made him feel very strange. Just when he was a little confused, he saw a thick blue torrent shooting toward him. Feeling the terrifying thunder magic power, the strong man with animal skin brawny man's face changed drastically. Even his heart stopped beating. Chapter 284. He is a lightning element magician, but why is his lightning element spell so terrifying? The man with animal skin screamed in his heart as he saw the blue torrent rushing towards him. He had seen lightning element spells before because Tan Sihai was a level 4 lightning element magician. However, the level 4 spell that Tan Sihai released was not on the same level as Su Chen's. The power of Su Chen's lightning torrent had exceeded that of a level 4 spell. It was even stronger than a level 5 spell. The man with animal skin was only a level 3 evolver. He could not even block a level 4 spell. Facing the lightning torrent, which was beyond level 5, his eyes were filled with despair. The others on the giant ship also felt the approach of death. They all fled for their lives. In the next moment, the blue torrent crashed into the giant ship. With a thunderous boom, it turned into thousands of lightning bolts and wreaked havoc. The man with animal skin was the first to be hit. He was directly struck by a lightning bolt and turned into ashes. The others also lost their lives one by one. After a few breaths, the lightning dissipated. The hundreds of people on the giant ship were all turned into ashes or charred corpses without exception. The giant ship itself was also riddled with holes. With a crisp crack, the entire ship broke into pieces and turned into a pile of wood shavings floating on the surface of the sea. Witnessing this scene, everyone was stunned. The surroundings fell into an eerie silence. One move, just one move. Not only did he kill hundreds of people, but he also destroyed a giant ship that was hundreds of meters long. Su Chen's strength was displayed to the extreme. Although Wu Yang and the others had some understanding of Su Chen and had seen Su Chen kill his enemies, they were still shocked. At this moment, they were still shocked by the scene in front of them. As for Tan Haiqing and the others who were driving the small boats and wanted to charge over, they were scared out of their wits. When had they ever seen such a terrifying and powerful existence? Tan Sihai was known as the strongest person in the 13 cities of the Forgotten Worries Sea. But in front of Su Chen, it was not even worth a fart. Knowing that they had provoked an unparalleled existence, Tan Haiqing's people desperately rowed their boats and fled in all directions. Su Chen glanced around and ordered the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, kill them!" Yes. The intelligent war chariot controlled the ungraded Gatling gun and fired wildly. Tut tut tut. Under the intense firepower, Tan Haiqing's men and their ships were riddled with holes. Screams could be heard from the sea. However, there was still a small boat. Because it was too far away, it luckily managed to escape with its life. Su Chen was too lazy to chase after such small fries. He turned around and said, "All right, let's get to work." Chapter 285. After a while, Su Chen calmed himself down and continued to pick up fragments. Picked up Pepper Seed Fragment X1, 1-1. Fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Su Chen hesitated for a moment before exchanging it for energy points. Although it was the first time Pepper Seed appeared, it was useless to keep it. Then he grabbed another purple shard. Picked up Abyss Ghost Howling Wind Fragment X1, 1-10. Fragments are full, cannot be used, can be exchanged for energy points. Not exchanging. Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. The name, Abyss Ghost Howling Wind, sounded like a wind element item because it had the word wind in it. Just like Ancient Thunder, there was the word thunder in it. Serene Pool Divine Wood, there was the word wood in it. Thinking of this, Su Chen was looking forward to it. He used wind element spells more often and was more comfortable with them. However, compared to thunder, wood, ice, and fire element spells, the power was obviously weaker. The reason was that he did not fuse with a wind element item. If Abyss Ghost Howling Wind was a wind element item, it would undoubtedly increase his wind element magic by a level, and his strength would definitely increase again. The appearance of Abyss Ghost Howling Wind made Su Chen excited, and the speed at which he picked up fragments increased by a lot. After picking up a dozen fragments in a row, a new item appeared. Picked up 56-inch color TV X1, 1-1. Fragments are full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Su Chen did not expect that even a color TV could be dropped, and could not help but let his imagination run wild. After coming to the apocalypse, he had not watched TV for a long time and he did miss it. However, was there a TV signal in the apocalypse? Su Chen thought about it for a moment and decided to exchange for it. After receiving the feedback, he understood that 56-inch color TV was not broadcast by receiving a TV signal, but by placing a disc. This meant that as long as he had the disc, he could watch TV in the apocalypse. There were very few entertainment programs in the apocalypse, and recently everyone was a bit tired of playing landlord. If he could watch TV, it would undoubtedly make his life more colorful. After putting the 56-inch color TV into his storage bag, Su Chen continued to pick up the fragments. Picked up Upgrade Gem, Fragment Asterisk, 1-1. The fragment is full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Picked up Sora Aoi's movie disc, Fragment Asterisk 1, 1-1. The fragment is full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Su Chen's expression became a little strange. He felt that he had been at loggerheads with Sora Aoi recently. The Sora Aoi blow-up doll had just been released, and now there was a short movie. F***CK. Can't you change it? Of course, Su Chen was only fantasizing. Whether it was old teacher Tsang's video or other people's video, he couldn't exchange for it. If this was shown on TV, what would people think of him? Wouldn't his image crumble? Dispelling distracting thoughts, Su Chen grabbed a red fragment. Picked up Level 3 Constitution Potion Fragment *1, 1-1. The fragment is full, can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Level 3 Constitution Potion had not appeared for a long time, and the value of this item was very high. Yang Hao and the others were now Level 2 evolvers, and they would definitely use it in the future. Chapter 286. After putting away the Level 3 Physique Potion, Su Chen locked his eyes on an orange fragment. The orange fragment was a mutated beast. There were many types of mutated beasts. Some were very strong and some were very weak. He had picked up a few orange fragments before, but none of them could be used. Either there were too many fragments and he could not gather all of them, or the mutated beast was too weak and was not worth it. Su Chen did not have much hope for this orange fragment. Picked up Super Ancient Devouring Gorilla Mosquito Fragment *1, 1-10. Fragments are not full and cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. Not exchanging. This orange fragment might have dropped a mosquito, but the name sounded a little pretentious. Super, Devouring, and Ancient. These three words undoubtedly raised the level of this mosquito. It also made Su Chen have high expectations for it. However, he was still short of 9 fragments. He did not think too much and continued to pick up fragments. Picked up Eternal Youth Fruit Seed Fragment *1, 1-10. Fragments are not full and cannot be used. Can be exchanged for energy points. Not exchanging. This was the first time that he needed to gather enough seeds to use them. This also meant that the value of this seed was very high. It was not something that the previous seeds could compare to. Su Chen was a little suspicious. Was the fruit of the Eternal Youth Fruit Seed used to preserve one's youth forever? If it was, then its value was very high, especially since he still had the longevity fruit tree. If he used the two together, he could really achieve immortality. After a while, Su Chen took a deep breath and continued to pick up fragments. Picked up 100 Top Chinese Songs Discs, Fragment *1, 1-1. Fragments are full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. Picked up Omnipotent Pressure Cooker, Fragment *1, 1-1. Fragments are full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. He was a little tired of eating barbecued meat every day. Changing his diet, stewing soup was a good choice. Su Chen happily kept it in his storage bag. Picked up Grape Tree Seed Fragment *1, 1-1. Fragments are full. Can be used or exchanged for energy points. Use. It was the first time the grape seed appeared. After Su Chen got it, he planted it into the plant space. Picked up Level 1 Pulse Cannon Fragment *1, 1-3. The fragments are not full, so they cannot be used. They can be exchanged for energy points. Exchange for energy points. Half an hour later, all the fragments were collected. Su Chen was quite satisfied with his harvest this time. After resting for a while, when he was about to collect the corpses of the sea beasts, the intelligent war chariot suddenly sounded an alarm. Warning, there are 3 large ships rapidly approaching us. They are currently 10 kilometers away. They are expected to meet in 10 minutes. Someone from the 13 Forget Worries Sea Cities came. Su Chen narrowed his eyes. The 13 Forget Worries Ocean Cities were the largest power in the vicinity. Moreover, he had just destroyed one of Tan Haiqing's giant warships, so it was reasonable for the other party to seek revenge. However, Su Chen could not figure it out. The lightning-type spell techniques he had just unleashed could be described as earth-shattering. It also proved that his strength was unparalleled. The other party should have known this, so why did he still dare to come? Was he fearless? Or was he fearless because he was ignorant? Since he could not figure it out, Su Chen decided not to dwell on it. No matter what the other party's motive was, as long as they dared to provoke him, only death awaited them. Chapter 287. Then, Su Chen continued to collect the corpses of the sea beasts. When he was halfway through collecting, 3 large ships approached. Seeing that the other party was coming menacingly, Wu Yang and the others stopped collecting the sea beasts. Each of them held their weapons and became cautious. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the 3 large ships. These 3 ships, from the outside, were no different from the previous giant ship. However, they were obviously much smaller. They were more than 100 meters long, only 1/3 the size of the giant ship. At this moment, on the bow of the middle ship, there were more than a dozen people standing around. The leader was an old man with high cheekbones and eyes that were as small as beans. After looking at Su Chen and the others, he asked a middle-aged man next to him, "Is it them?" "City Lord, it's them. The one who released the thunder technique is the young man standing at the front." The middle-aged man hurriedly replied. When he spoke, he was still a little scared. He was one of the people on the small ship that escaped. Previously, the scene of Su Chen sinking the giant ship with one move was still vivid in his mind. At that time, he was almost scared to death on the spot. Meeting Su Chen again, even with so many masters in the Forgotten Worries Ocean, he still felt a little uneasy. "Boy, you killed our Tan Haiching's people? You destroyed our giant ship? Do you know your crime?" The bean-eyed old man's face was gloomy as he shouted angrily. He was none other than the city lord of Tan Haiching, Tan Sihai. He was also the leader of the 13 cities of the Forgotten Worries Ocean. When he learned that Tan Haiching's giant ship was destroyed and his subordinates were slaughtered, he was so angry that his lungs almost exploded. Whether it was the giant ship or his subordinates, they were all important trump cards for him to maintain his position in the Forgotten Worries Ocean. Now that they were all destroyed by Su Chen, his position in the Forgotten Worries Ocean was not so stable. Therefore, today he must kill Su Chen and the others to restore Tan Haiching's prestige. He wanted to let the others know that Forget Worries Ocean was still his world. Of course, he also knew how powerful Su Chen was. In order to kill an expert like Su Chen, one had to be fully prepared. On this trip, he had brought along a treasure that was specially designed to restrain Su Chen, so he was very confident. "You people from Tan Haiching actually dared to snatch my sea demon beast. It can only be said that you are courting death." Su Chen's face was full of contempt. He snorted coldly and said, "If you know what's good for you, scram immediately. Otherwise, I'll kill all of you." "Ha ha!" Tan Sihai laughed wildly, then stared at Su Chen, his eyes exuding a bone-chilling coldness. He gritted his teeth and said, "I know you are a powerful magic psychic master, but you are still too inexperienced to act tough in front of me. Tan Sihai, today, this old man will completely suppress you." As soon as he finished speaking, he waved his hand, and something that looked like a ruby slowly floated into the sea. Yang Hao spat at the big ship where Tan Sihai was. His eyes were full of sarcasm. This old man with the surname Tan is quite good at acting tough. He still wants to suppress Chingu? Chao Ran, who was next to him, echoed. Some people's brains don't work well when they get old. They even dared to provoke Chingu. They have no one to blame but themselves for their long lives. Sure, Daniu sighed and sighed. They are already so old. Isn't it good to live? In their hearts, Su Chen was an invincible existence. Tan Sihai was so arrogant that he wanted to arm wrestle with Su Chen. This kind of behavior was tantamount to suicide. Su Chen's attention was always on the ruby. He faintly felt that the ruby contained a strange power that made him a little uncomfortable. Haha, kid, under the light of my anti-magic gem, you have less than 10% of your magical power left. Let's see how you are going to fight me? At this moment, Tan Sihai laughed wildly again. Chapter 288. Su Chun circulated his magic power and felt that it was indeed a little sluggish. Although he was a little surprised, he did not take it to heart. Magic power was only one of his many means. His opponent was too naive to think that he could defeat him with just a piece of anti-magic gem. Do you think you can show off in front of me by imprisoning my magic power? Su Chun rubbed his nose and sneered. Then, with a flash of purple light on his feet, he stepped into the sea and charged towards Tan Sihai at a ghostly speed. What a fast speed! Is he a high-level evolved person? Could he be a level 5 evolved person? Mayor, what should we do? Seeing Su Chun charging at them with lightning speed, the people on the ship were a little panicked. Tan Sihai's eyelids also twitched. Originally, he thought that Su Chun was just a psychic. He did not think that Su Chun was also an evolved person. And judging from his speed, it was very likely that he was a level 5 evolved person. Let's attack together. We can't let him get here. Tan Sihai roared and raised his hand to shoot out a violent thunder spell. He knew that once a powerful evolved person like Su Chun got close, it would be a disaster for them. So he did not hesitate to stop Su Chun. The others reacted and attacked at the same time. Dozens of psychic casters released spells together. Icicles, fireballs, and violent thunder spells flew out continuously. Those evolved people did not have long-range attacks, but they took out bows and arrows and shot at Su Chun. For a time, all kinds of spells were thrown at Su Chun from all directions. Hundreds of sharp arrows pierced the sky and whistled towards Su Chun. At this moment, the whole sky was covered in the color of magic. The magic waves emitted from it were abnormally terrifying. The sound of the air being pierced deeply into everyone's eardrums. Even though Wu Yang and the others were far away, they still felt the waves of pressure and their breathing became much more rapid. Although he knew that Su Chun was very strong, in the face of such an indiscriminate attack, could he survive? Tan Lin and Yang Qian couldn't help but feel nervous. Their palms were sweating. The expressions of Yang Hao and the other two turned ugly. Kid, let's see how you're going to act tough now. A cruel expression appeared on Tan Sihai's face. Even a level 5 evolver would not be able to survive the attack of dozens of spells and hundreds of arrows. At this moment, he already regarded Su Chun as a dead man. Su Chun scoffed at this. He didn't even try to dodge, allowing the spells and arrows to come at him. In the next moment, the flying spell exploded around him, setting off a monstrous wave that drowned Su Chun's figure. Following closely behind, the sharp arrows pierced into the place where Su Chun was standing one after another. Haha, you're dead meat. Seeing this scene, Tan Sihai laughed wildly again. The others were also excited and hooted. I thought this kid was very powerful. It turns out that he only knows how to act tough. Going against the 13 Forgotten Worries Sea Cities, he must be tired of living. So what if he's a level 5 evolver? Under our joint efforts, didn't he still die without leaving even a speck of dust? You're too naive. Just as the people of the 13 Forgotten Worries Sea Cities were celebrating, a cold snort suddenly rang in their ears. Immediately after, a tall and handsome figure slowly walked out from the waves that filled the sky. It's him. Why is he still alive? My eyes must be playing tricks on me. He can't possibly survive. When they saw that the person who walked out was Su Chun, the people of the 13 Forgotten Worries Sea Cities screamed as if they had seen a ghost. Chapter 289. What was even harder for them to accept was that when Su Chun walked out, he patted his clothes a few times with a faint smile on his face. He was completely unharmed from the beginning to the end. How could this be? Could it be that those spells and arrows were all fake? Or did they attack the wrong target? Or was Su Chun so powerful that he could ignore such powerful attacks? Unable to figure out the situation, the people of the 13 Forget Worries Sea Cities fell into deep shock and confusion. Do you think a bunch of ants like you can cause trouble in front of me? You overestimate yourselves. Su Chen sneered and walked forward slowly. With the ancient godfiend body, he could ignore any attacks below the same level. Tan Sihai was the strongest among them, but he was only a level 4 Dharma psychic. How could he hurt him? Although Su Chen walked slowly, every step he took made the hearts of the people of the 13 Forget Worries Sea cities tremble. It was as if they felt that death was about to come. Finally, they couldn't take it anymore and tried to persuade Tan Sihai. City Lord, he's not human. Let's run. Alliance Master, take a step back and you'll be safe. Su Chen's strength had exceeded their understanding. Arrows couldn't hurt him, spells didn't work, and he was a terrifying existence that couldn't be killed at all. How could they have the courage to resist? At this moment, they wished they could grow a pair of wings and fly away from this place. Retreat. Return to Tan Hai City. Leave immediately. Tan Sihai came back to his senses and hurriedly ordered. He was already scared out of his wits by Su Chen. He only wanted to escape as far as possible. As long as he didn't run into Su Chen, he could escape to the ends of the earth. What face? Dignity? Compared to his life, all of that was worth less than a fart. Can you escape? Su Chen sneered and then ran forward at full speed. Just as he approached the ship, he leaped up and punched the air. In an instant, 100 golden fist shadows appeared in the air. Each fist shadow emitted an extremely fierce aura, causing the void to buzz and tremble. What's this? Tan Sihai was so scared that his legs began to tremble. The others could not even raise their heads under the pressure of this violent fist aura. Pegasus Meteor Fist. Su Chen bellowed and punched out. Bang, bang, bang. What followed was a series of 100 explosions. Under the merciless devastation of the Pegasus Meteor Fist, the ship, which was over 100 meters long, was directly smashed into pieces. Tan Sihai and the others also became a part of the powder. After falling into the sea, they finally disappeared without a trace. Oh my God! Run quickly! He's a devil! The people on the other two ships were scared out of their wits. They tried their best to steer their ships away. His speed was quite fast. In the blink of an eye, he had already fled a distance of over 100 meters. Su Chen curled his lips and ordered the intelligent chariot, Satoshi, launch 2 torpedoes and kill them. Yes. The intelligent war chariot turned on the torpedo launcher and launched 2 torpedoes. Boom, boom. With 2 deafening explosions, the 2 ships sank to the bottom of the sea one after another. Okay, let's continue. Su Chen smiled faintly and then walked to the anti-magic gem. After looking at it, he put it into the storage bag. The anti-magic gem's function was still very strange. It seemed to be able to cut off the bridge between the body and the magic power. This aroused Su Chen's strong interest. He planned to study it when he had time. Chapter 290. An hour later, the sea beasts' bodies were dealt with, and everyone returned to the intelligent war chariot. Su Chen took out the universal pressure cooker and universal oven and gave them to Yang Hao, asking him to prepare the meal. He then communicated with the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, I have got the thunderstorm stones. There are 100 stones in total. Is it enough for the upgrade? Master, the upgrade of the magnetic storm net and torpedo requires 50 thunderstorm stones each, and the derivative thunderbolt requires 100 stones. The intelligent war chariot replied. How is the power of the magnetic storm net and torpedo after the upgrade? Su Chen was more concerned about this. As for the thunderbolt beam, he felt that it was not worth it because it required 100 stones, so he decided to use the thunderstorm stones on the magnetic storm net and torpedo. After the upgrade of the magnetic storm net, the coverage area doubled, but the power remained the same. After the torpedo upgrade, the power increased by 1/3. Hearing this, Su Chen nodded slightly. Before the upgrade of the magnetic storm power source, it could kill more than 100 zombies below level 3 at once. After the upgrade, it could only kill zombies below level 3, but the number of zombies it could kill had doubled. As for the torpedo, it could kill about 300 sea beasts at once. After the upgrade, it could kill 400. Su Chun was still not satisfied with the performance after the upgrade. After a while, he installed the thunderstorm stones in the groove below the central control screen. After the upgrade of the intelligent war chariot, Su Chun turned to look at the central control screen and continued to look for the sea beasts. At this moment, the intelligent war chariot spoke again. Master, the gem you got before is very useful to me. I can create a new attack weapon. Gem? The anti-magic gem? Su Chun muttered, took out the anti-magic gem, and asked, Satoshi, is it this gem? It is this gem. The intelligent war chariot replied with certainty. Su Chun installed the anti-magic gem in the groove and asked, Satoshi, what kind of weapon can you create? It was true that the anti-magic gem was a good item, but as long as it could increase the attack power of the intelligent war chariot, no matter how good it was, he would install it on the intelligent war chariot. By consuming this anti-magic gem, I can generate anti-magic light waves that can cover an area of 1,000 meters. The intelligent war chariot explained. What's the use of the anti-magic light wave? Su Chun could faintly feel that this thing wasn't simple, so he asked urgently. Its function is to confine a psychic's magic power, and its confinement rate is 100%. There's a limit to the confinement ability, it can't exceed my own level. A pleasant surprise. A pleasant surprise. Su Chen's eyes lit up with excitement. The anti-magic light wave was only effective against magic psyche masters. Any magic psyche master who was enveloped by the light wave would not be able to use any spells and would be reduced to a cripple. Of course, the prerequisite was that the level of the enveloped Dharma psychic must not exceed the level of the intelligent war chariot. In other words, the intelligent war chariot was now at level 3, and the anti-magic light wave could only be used against spellcasters below level 3. Even so, the might of the anti-magic light wave was no small matter. In addition, how many magic psyche masters above level 4 could there be on Thousand Feather Island? Probably only a handful. Moreover, the intelligent war chariot wouldn't stay at level 3 forever. It was an upgraded war chariot. As long as there were enough materials, it could continue to be upgraded. At that time, the power of the anti-magic light wave would reach a new level. Su Chun calmed down and continued to search for the whereabouts of the sea monsters. Chapter 291. Needless to say, there were many sea beasts in the Forget Worries Ocean, and they often came in groups. Su Chun soon found a group of about 2,000 sea beasts. Before setting off to hunt, he decided to fill his stomach first. Especially since he had just obtained the omnipotent pressure cooker, he wanted to taste it. After eating and drinking, everyone embarked on the hunting journey. In the next few days, Su Chun kept hunting sea beasts. No matter how many sea beasts there were in the Forget Worries Ocean, they could not withstand this kind of killing. In the end, not even a shadow of the sea beasts could be seen. Sea beasts were not like zombies. They also had intelligence. Seeing a large number of their companions die, they migrated out of the Forget Worries Ocean and went to other sea areas or even the deep sea. Without any sea beasts to kill, Su Chun did not want to wander around the Forget Worries Ocean. As for going to other sea areas or the deep sea, he had no intention of doing so for the time being. Of course, after killing all the zombies and mutant beasts in Chenyu Island, he would naturally go to other sea areas. After glancing at the central control screen, Su Chun chose a place to land. When he arrived on land, he immediately put the Heavenly Overlord Turtle into the pet raising space. The initial space of the pet raising space was only 10 cubic meters, which was definitely not enough to hold the Heavenly Overlord Turtle. However, Su Chun upgraded it to 300 cubic meters, which was enough to hold the Heavenly Overlord Turtle. In addition, the storage bag was also upgraded to 300 cubic meters. Planting space had also been upgraded, but the upgrade was smaller, only 100 cubic meters. For this, Su Chun used up all the upgrade gems and even spent a lot of energy points. However, compared to the consumption, the harvest was more abundant. During this period, tens of thousands of sea beasts were killed, and thousands of fragments were dropped. Most of them were exchanged for energy points. His energy points had already exceeded 8,000, and this was under the condition that he had spent some. Otherwise, it would have been even more. As for the sea beast's corpses, the storage bag was almost filled to the brim. There were tens of thousands of energy stones of various levels. It could be said that Su Chun made a lot of money on this trip to the Forget Worries Ocean. Su Chun, where are we going next? After arriving on land, the intelligent war chariot remained where it was. Wu Yang asked. Su Chun originally wanted to return to Tiannan Colony. After all, there were still a lot of zombies there. However, when he glanced at the central control screen, he realized that the Fire Wolf encampment was on the way to Tiannan encampment, so he decided to take a look. Let's go to the Fire Wolf colony first, then return to the Tiannan colony, Su Chun said. Upon hearing that they were going to Tiannan, Wu Yang, Chao Ran, and Tan Lin became excited. After all, they had lived in the heavenly south for many years, so they had more or less feelings for each other. Next, he locked onto the location of the Fire Wolves' gathering place, and the intelligent war chariot moved at full speed. Chun Gu, do you want to fight? With nothing to do, Yang Hao took out his poker cards and invited Su Chun to play Fight the Landlord. Let's not play Fight the Landlord today. Let's listen to music. Su Chun smiled, then took out the color TV and installed the 100 Network Hit Songs CD. The first song to play was Your Answer. Maybe the world is like this. I'm also on the road. No one can tell. The light of dawn will cross the darkness. Break all fear. I can find the answer. His deep voice and melodious music made the crowd intoxicated. Chapter 292. Su Chun was also deeply touched. The apocalypse was actually a dark world, and everyone should be looking for answers. Then what was his answer? After thinking for a while, he felt that his answer was very simple and pure. That was to kill zombies and drop fragments. The more the better. Simple and monotonous, but not lacking in meaning. The intelligent war chariot traveled for 3 days straight, and just as it was about to reach the Fire Wolf gathering place, Su Chun saw on the central control screen that 4 blue dots were flying towards him. They were only a few miles apart. Moreover, the speed of these 4 blue dots was not slow, so they should be evolvers. Su Chun did not care. Evolvers were everywhere after all, as long as they did not come to provoke him. The intelligent war chariot continued to move forward according to its usual route, and after a few minutes, it met the 4 blue dots. Senior, save me. Su Chun was resting with his eyes closed, and vaguely felt that the voice was a little familiar. Chingu, it seems to be Zhou Yun. Yang Hao reminded him. Zhou Yun? Su Chun frowned slightly. He had a good impression of Zhou Yun, and when he left, he even gave him a bottle of Level 1 Vitality Potion. However, wasn't Zhou Yun's home at the Rocky Hill? Why did he come here? And he was asking him for help. Was he being chased? Thinking of this, Su Chun opened his eyes and looked outside. Sure enough, he saw Zhou Yun flying towards him, and behind him were 3 men in blue, chasing after Zhou Yun. Satoshi, stop the chariot. Su Chun ordered, and when the intelligent war chariot stopped, he got out of the chariot. At this time, Zhou Yun had already run in front of him, and he was still shouting, Senior, they want to kill me. Su Chun focused his gaze, and saw that Zhou Yun's clothes were ragged, and there were a few wounds on his body, looking very miserable. The 3 men in blue, after catching up, were not in a hurry to make a move. They kept looking at Su Chun and the intelligent war chariot. They had seen a lot of MCVs, but it was the first time they had seen one as cool as the intelligent war vehicle. Moreover, they also knew that the people who owned the MCV were not ordinary people. If he didn't have the strength, the MCV would have been taken away by others. Kid, I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. Seeing that Zhou Yun and Su Chun were very familiar with each other, one of the men with a scar on his face snorted coldly. Although he still didn't know Su Chen's background, he had his own identity and Su Chen's young age, so he didn't put Su Chen in his eyes. Su Chen ignored him and turned to ask Zhou Yun, What's going on? Why are they chasing after you? Zhou Yun clenched his hands and said angrily, "Senior, they are from Heaven Connect City." After learning that Fang Chenggu was killed, they began to hunt down people related to this matter. Fang Chenggu was killed by Su Chun, and Zhou Yun had been with Su Chun at that time, so it was reasonable that he was implicated. After figuring out what was going on, Su Chun looked at the three men from Heaven Connect City and said lightly, "Are you from Heaven Connect City?" It could be said that he had a deep grudge with the people of Heaven Connect City. In total, he had killed many people of Heaven Connect City. Among them, there were 3 level 3 evolvers. If the other party was really from Heaven Connect City, he could only count himself unlucky to have met him. The scarred man glanced coldly at Su Chun and threatened, "Kid, since you know we are from Heaven Connect City, why don't you get out of my way?" Heaven Connect City was one of the top forces in Yulin, and even in the entire Qinyu Island, its name was very well known. No matter who it was, when they saw people from Heaven Connect City, they would be courteous to them as a form of respect. With this identity, the scarred man thought that Su Chun would not dare to go against him. Chapter 293. Sky Connect City is nothing. Su Chun curled his lips and said mockingly, "I like killing people from Sky Connect City the most, and I've already killed quite a few." At this point, he narrowed his eyes and swept his gaze over the scarred man and the other 2. His eyes were cold, as if he was treating the 3 of them as dead people. "What do you want?" Being stared at by Su Chun, the scarred man felt a chill run down his spine and subconsciously took a few steps back. The other 2's expressions also changed, and they retreated together. Su Chun seemed to be harmless to humans and animals, but there was a fierce, murderous aura around him. Only some particularly powerful people would have this kind of murderous aura. At this moment, they all realized that Su Chun was definitely a powerful person, and a very powerful one at that. "Of course it's to kill you." Su Chun smiled faintly, and his mind power instantly spread out. With 3 explosive sounds, the scarred man and the other 2 exploded into 3 clouds of blood mist under the pressure of the mind power. Seeing this, the corners of Zhou Yun's mouth couldn't help but tremble. He had a feeling that Su Chun seemed to be much more powerful than the last time he saw him. Last time, Su Chun was at level 3, and now he was at level 4, and his strength had increased exponentially. It was reasonable for Zhou Yun to have this kind of intuitive feeling. "Get in the car first," Su Chun called out and walked straight into the intelligent war chariot. Zhou Yun followed closely behind. After getting in the car, he politely greeted the people in the car. "Hello, seniors." Sure Duo tried her best to hold back her laughter and thought to herself, "I'm only 7 years old. How did I become a senior?" Chao Ran cleared his throat and pretended to be deep as he said, "Little Zhou, not bad. I haven't seen you for a few days, and you've already become an evolved person." Zhou Yun looked at Su Chun and said gratefully, "It's all thanks to the potion that Senior gave me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to become an evolved person in my lifetime." Hearing this, Chao Ran and the others were deeply moved. Their talents were very poor, and the only reason they could become evolvers was because of Su Chun. "Just call me Chun Gu. Don't call me Senior. It's uncomfortable." Su Chun joked and then asked, "How many people came from Heaven Connect City? Where are they now?" "Chun Gu, there are more than 10 of them, and one of them is a level 4 evolver," Zhou Yun quickly replied. Zhou Yun was very excited that Su Chun wanted him to call him Chun Gu. Although it was only a change in the way he addressed Su Chun, there was no doubt that his relationship with Su Chun had become much closer. "Why are they here? It's not a star-gathering stone, is it?" Su Chun gave a soft cry of surprise. A level 4 evolver could be said to be the top fighting power in Tongtian City, and such people would not go out easily. If they encountered an accident outside, it would be an immeasurable loss to Tongtian City. It seems to be for the star-gathering stone. As soon as they came, they searched everywhere for the star-gathering stone. Zhou Yun thought for a moment and replied. Su Chun rubbed his nose and pondered. Although the value of the star-gathering stone was very high, there was no need to mobilize so many people, right? Even a level 4 revolver was sent out to search for it. Su Chun faintly felt that this matter was not simple, so he ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, go to the fire wolf gathering place immediately. Yes. The intelligent war chariot ignited and started, speeding forward. About an hour later, the intelligent war chariot arrived at the gate of the fire wolf gathering place. Just like last time, there were many people coming in and out of the city gate. The appearance of the intelligent war chariot immediately caused a commotion among them. Chapter 294. Look, that group of killing gods is here again. Oh my god, are they going to fight with the people of Sky Connect City? Who knows? Let's wait and see. Sky Connect City has a level 4 evolver. How can they be a match for him? Do you think they're easy to deal with? Last time, the arrival of Su Chun and the others had set off a storm of blood at the fire wolf gathering place. Many experts, including the city lord Fang Chenggu, were killed. Would he go on a killing spree like the last time he came here? Let's go and meet the people of Sky Connect City. Su Chun opened the door and got out of the car. The rest of the people followed closely behind Su Chun. When the crowd stood in front of the carriage and lined up, more than a dozen men in blue walked out of the city gate. Judging from their clothes, they were not much different from the 3 people from Sky Connect City who had been killed before. Is this the group of people who killed Fang Chenggu and stole the Star Gathering Stone? On the opposite side, an old man with a face full of pockmarks glanced at Su Chun and the others before turning to ask Fengzhe who was beside him. Fengzhe secretly looked at Su Chun and saw that Su Chen's eyes were unfriendly. He could not help but shiver. It could be said that he could not afford to offend either Su Chun or the old man with the pockmarks. However, it was impossible for him to stay out of the two of them. Fengzhe struggled for a while and finally chose to stand on the side of the old man with the pockmarks. The old man with the pockmarks was not only a level 4 revolver but also from Sky Connect City. Regardless of strength or identity, Su Chun could not compare to him. Although Su Chun was also very strong, he was only level 3. He was definitely not a match for a level 4 revolver. After thinking this through, he bowed and replied, "Sir, the ones who stole the Star Gathering Stone and killed Chief Fang are these traitors." Hearing this, Wu Yang and the others were furious. Su Chen's face was also as gloomy as water. No matter what, he had helped Fengzhe last time, pushing him to the position of the leader of the Fire Wolf gathering place. Who would have thought that not only would this guy not be grateful, but he would also become a fence-sitter and side with Heaven Connect City? How abominable! This kind of behavior was equivalent to betrayal, and Su Chun had already placed him on his must-kill list. "How dare you kill people and rob them here?" The pockmarked old man angrily rebuked with an arrogant face, and then coldly threatened, "Whoever took the Star Congregation Stone, immediately hand it over, and I can leave his corpse intact. Do all of you from Sky Connect City like to show off?" Su Chun rubbed his nose and took a step forward with a disdainful expression, as if he was looking at the old man as a clown. The pockmarked old man frowned slightly. He sized up Su Chun and snorted coldly, "Kid, do you know how powerful Heaven Connect City is? Are you in such a hurry to die?" He did not understand why this young man in front of him still dared to speak so boldly after knowing that he was from Heaven Connect City. Did he know that he was going to die? Was he trying to show off before dying, so that he could die with dignity? Who gave you the courage to be a level 4 revolver from Heaven Connect City? Don't you know that there is always someone better than you? Su Chun said with a face full of contempt. Listening to the other party's tone, Heaven Connect City seemed to be the #1 force on Thousand Feather Island. Arrogant, domineering, and overbearing. It was as if he was saying that in front of Heaven Connect City, no matter who it was, they had to submit. Otherwise, they would suffer the wrath of Heaven Connect City and die. Chapter 295. As soon as Su Chun finished speaking, there was an uproar at the city gate. An expert from Tongtian City, and a level 4 revolver at that, actually mocked him mercilessly. This time it was very lively. The people of Tongtian City had always been known for their strength. Would they let a young man humiliate them? The answer was obvious. The people of Tongtian City were all filled with righteous indignation, and they put on a posture as if they wanted to tear Su Chun apart. The pockmarked old man was even more furious. He gritted his teeth and roared, "Boy, you're courting death." As soon as he finished speaking, he held a knife and rushed in front of Su Chun, slashing down. The aura of a level 4 revolver burst out like an avalanche. What a powerful aura, as expected of a level 4 revolver. That boy is finished. This is the result of provoking Tongtian City. He's still too young. The expressions of the surrounding people changed. They all thought that Su Chun was doomed this time. Even the light of a grain of rice was shining. The corner of Su Chen's mouth twitched slightly. His palm was instantly filled with a bright golden light. Under everyone's gaze, he stretched out his hand to grab the knife. Is he crazy? He actually dares to use his body to resist the powerful knife of a level 4 revolver? Does he think he has an indestructible body? Seeing this scene, the onlookers could not remain calm. Su Chen's action, in their view, was undoubtedly an act of seeking death. The pockmarked old man's expression changed slightly, but it was quickly replaced by a ruthless look. Since the young man in front of him was courting death, he might as well fulfill his wish. Crack! The crisp sound of something breaking rang out. The pockmarked old man's knife accurately landed on Su Chen's palm. However, the expected scene of Su Chen's palm being cut off did not appear. Instead, the knife in the pockmarked old man's hand was broken into 2 pieces. Is this real? This scene in the eyes of the crowd made them feel that it was especially unreal. Even a level 5 revolver had to avoid the violent knife of a level 4 revolver. Why did Su Chun dare to take it head-on? And it even broke the chopping blade? Could it be a level 6 revolver? But even a level 6 revolver wouldn't be unscathed, right? Could it be that he really had an indestructible body? Although Su Chun did not have an invincible Vajra body, he had the ancient Godfiend body and was immune to all attacks of the same level. In addition, with the help of the golden scales on the arm, it was normal for him to break the saber with one palm. A bunch of ignorant fools. Seeing everyone's reaction, Chao Ran sneered contemptuously. Su Chun was able to remain unscathed in the face of dozens of spells and hundreds of arrows. What could a mere saber do to him? What a fuss! How did you do it? The pockmarked old man was inexplicably shocked. He looked at Su Chun as if he had seen a ghost. Breaking a level 4 revolver's chopping knife with his bare hands was too terrifying. It was too unbelievable. You don't have the right to know how I did it. Su Chun narrowed his eyes and said in a deep voice, "Tell me your purpose for coming here, and I will consider leaving your corpse intact." Previously, the pockmarked old man had used this sentence to threaten Su Chun. But in the blink of an eye, the situation had taken a sharp turn, and he had become the target of the threat. The pockmarked old man's thoughts kept spinning. He knew that Su Chun was qualified to say such words. But how could he be willing to just wait for death? In the end, he gritted his teeth, turned around, and flew to the side. Seeing this, the onlookers were stunned. A level 4 revolver was scared away? Did he not want the dignity of a level 4 revolver? Where would Heaven Connect City put their face? The rest of the people from Heaven Connect City were also dumbfounded. For a moment, they did not know what to do and were stunned on the spot. Want to run? Su Chun snorted coldly. With a flick of his finger, a green thread of light shot out from his finger and instantly shot to the feet of the pockmarked old man. Chapter 296. The pockmarked old man hadn't even taken a few steps when he felt his feet being entangled by something. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't break free. It was a critical moment for him to escape. If he was delayed, he might lose his life. The pockmarked old man glanced at his feet. When he saw that it was a vine that was entangled, he was horrified. He cried out, "Would element entanglement? A level 5 magician." Although Su Chun was only a level 4 magician, His wood element magic had been fused with the divine wood of the Netherpole. The power of the spell he released was even higher than a level 5 spell. This made the pockmarked old man think that it was a level 5 spell. I'm giving you one last chance. Tell me why you're here. Otherwise, I'll use 1,000 different ways to torture you. Su Chun walked in front of the pockmarked old man and stared at him coldly. His eyes were filled with a bone-chilling and evil aura. The pockmarked old man couldn't help but shudder. Under Su Chen's gaze, he finally opened his mouth. We're here for the Star Congregation Stone. Continue. Su Chen's voice was cold. He already knew this. The key was why they were here to collect the Star Congregation Stone. Senior, if I tell you, I'll become a sinner of Sky Connect City. They won't let me go. The pockmarked old man stuttered. The meaning of his words was that if he told the truth, Lin Fan had to protect him. Su Chun rubbed his nose and muttered in his heart, Is this guy an idiot? Even if you tell me everything, I'll still kill you. Do I need to worry about Sky Connect City's revenge? With a light snort, Su Chun said indifferently, Tell me the truth, and I'll give you a quick death. If you don't, you'll be tortured. Choose for yourself. So you're saying that you won't give me a chance to live? The pockmarked old man's expression was extremely ugly. He gritted his teeth and said, Senior, if I submit to you, can you spare my life? If a level 4 evolver wanted to rely on a force, he would definitely be welcomed. After all, the strength of a level 4 evolver was there. No matter which force it joined, it would be able to greatly increase its strength. However, in Su Chen's eyes, not to mention a level 4 evolver, even a level 5 evolver was not worth mentioning. Moreover, he wouldn't keep someone he didn't know by his side. You'd better confess honestly. Su Chen's face was serious as he curled his lips. As for you submitting to me, I'm sorry, but I don't care. The pockmarked old man's face turned pale as he clenched his fists tightly. A level 4 evolver was actually worthless in the eyes of the other party. At this moment, his heart was crumbling, and he was furious. If that's the case, then kill me if you want. I won't say a word. Su Chen didn't care at all. A strange curve appeared on his lips as he chuckled. I've met quite a few people who are as stubborn as you, but in the end, they all regretted it. With that, Su Chun released his spiritual force and bound the pockmarked old man. At the same time, he took out the enchanted saber and chopped down at his right arm. Crack! The pockmarked old man's entire arm was separated from his body. Bright red blood spurted out from the wound, dyeing half of his body red in the blink of an eye. Ah! The pockmarked old man screamed in pain, his entire face twisted together. The surrounding onlookers were all shocked by this bloody scene and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. The rest of the people from Heaven Pass City looked at each other and fled in all directions. Captain Wu, don't leave a single one alive. Su Chen glanced at them and said to Wu Yang. Wu Yang didn't say anything and started chasing after the people of Heaven Pass City with the others. Su Chun looked at the pockmarked old man again and slowly raised the saber in his hand into the air. The pockmarked old man was scared out of his wits and shouted. I said, the Lord of Heaven Pass City, Jiang Wei, wants to use the Star Gathering Stone to open a realm passage. Chapter 297. Su Chen frowned deeply and asked in a deep voice, why did they open the realm passage? Which race did they connect to? Those who were not of the same race were bound to have different intentions. Cooperating with a foreign race was like asking a tiger for its skin. Why did Jiang Wei dare to open the realm passage? Could it be that he had a close relationship with the foreign race, just like the venerable engraved dragon of the Hidden Fog sect? The situation was getting more and more confusing. Su Chen fell into deep confusion. I only know that Jiang Wei wants to open a realm passage. I don't know anything else. The pockmarked old man sighed and replied. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and stared at the pockmarked old man. You're not lying to me? This matter had too many implications. He was not sure if the pockmarked old man was telling the truth. There's no need for a person who's about to die. The pockmarked old man sneered. Su Chen knew that he would not be able to get anything else out of the pockmarked old man, so he simply smashed his head with a punch. Su Chen, how should we deal with this guy? At this time, Wu Yang carried Feng Zhe and walked to Su Chen's side. As for the people of Heaven Connect City who had just escaped, they had already been caught and killed. Senior, I was forced to do this. Please give me another chance. Feng Zhe knelt at Su Chen's feet and loudly begged for mercy. This kind of opportunist would be a disaster if left alive. Su Chen did not even look at him. He raised his hand and cut off his head with a wind blade. Let's go. Get on the carriage, Su Chen called out. The people of Heaven Connect City had been killed, so the matter here was over. He also wanted to leave the Fire Wolves' gathering place. After everyone had boarded the carriage, Su Chen asked Zhou Yun, "Do you have any relatives in Rocky Mound?" "Chun Gu, I'm an orphan. I don't have any relatives," Zhou Yun said. Su Chen thought for a moment and said, "I'll take you to a safe place." After all, he was acquainted with Zhou Yun. If he left him here, he would be in danger when the people from Heaven Connect City came later. Therefore, he planned to send Zhou Yun to Fengshi Gathering Place. If he followed Han Kuan, his safety would be guaranteed. "Qin Gu, I'll listen to you." Zhou Yun nodded heavily. Su Chen nodded slightly and ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, head to Fengshi Gathering Place. The intelligent war chariot ignited and sped toward the wind elemental's base. Because the surrounding area had been cleaned up a few days ago, it was difficult to encounter a decent group of zombies. Everyone had nothing to do, so they gathered together to play Fight the Landlord, listen to music, eat barbecue, and drink fruit drinks. They were very happy. On the fourth day, the intelligent war chariot slowly approached the Fengshi Gathering Place. What was unexpected was that Fengshi Colony was not peaceful at this time. There was a fierce battle taking place outside the city. There were thousands of people participating in the battle from both sides. The side with the advantage in numbers was led by Han Kuan and the people from Fengshi Colony. The other side had fewer people, only a few hundred people. However, although they had fewer people, their fighting power was tyrannical. There were dozens of evolvers and psychics added together. Relying on the advantage of top fighting power, the Fengshi Colony was utterly defeated and suffered countless casualties. If Han Kuan had not vowed to fight to the death, the Fengshi Colony would have been defeated long ago. Moreover, Han Kuan's situation was very dangerous. He was only a level 2 evolver, but he was surrounded by several level 1 evolvers and a level 2 psychic. The situation was precarious. He might not be able to hold on for long before he was surrounded and killed. Chapter 298. Satoshi Charge. Su Chen roared. He and Han Kuan were friends, and he would not watch Han Kuan die in the hands of others. Perhaps sensing Su Chen's urgency, the intelligent war chariot increased its horsepower and rushed into the battle. As the intelligent war chariot's momentum was too domineering, it immediately attracted everyone's attention. The two sides of the battle were forced to open up a path. They temporarily stopped fighting and stopped fighting. Screech, with a sudden breaking sound, the intelligent war chariot drifted beautifully and stopped in front of Han Kuan. Immediately, Su Chen and the rest walked down from the chariot. "Brother Su." Han Kuan was extremely excited, as if he had seen his savior. The people who were surrounding Han Kuan also stopped and gathered together. They sized up Su Chen and the rest cautiously. "Brother Han, how have you been?" Su Chen walked up with a smile and joked. His calm and collected expression made it seem as if he didn't put either side in his eyes at all. "Brother Su, luckily you came in time. If you were a step later, I'm afraid I would have been killed by them," Han Kuan said with lingering fear. He knew that Su Chen was joking with him, but he was not in the mood to do so. "Tell me, what's going on?" Su Chen stopped smiling and said seriously. With Su Chen by his side, Han Kuan was emboldened. He pointed at the other party's nose and scolded. "These bastards from Shi-Ren's colony want to steal our city." "Shi-Ren's colony?" Su Chen murmured, and his interest was piqued. Speaking of which, he had some conflicts with Shi-Ren's colony. He had killed 6 of their revolvers. However, what he could not understand was that Shuren's colony was at least a few thousand miles away from here. Why did they come all the way here to steal a small colony instead of staying in their own place? Were they so poor that they went crazy? Su Chun glanced at them and his gaze landed on a dark-skinned, middle-aged man. He said sternly, "Why are you snatching my friend's city?" The middle-aged man was the strongest level 2 magician in the group and was most likely their leader. Hearing this, the dark-skinned man frowned and did not immediately reply. Su Chun looked young, but his every move carried the aura of a king, causing him to involuntarily mutter. She didn't know that Su Chun was pretending. Or was it because of his strength that he had nothing to fear? The dark-skinned man didn't say anything, but the people around him were a little unhappy. A bulky young man stepped forward and harumphed coldly, "Kid, who do you think you are? If you know what's good for you, get the hell out of here. Otherwise, you won't even know how you died." Su Chun pursed his lips. "That's a good idea." As soon as he finished speaking, there was a loud bang. The burly young man's head had inexplicably exploded. Just as he said before, he didn't even know how he died. Faced with such a strange situation, the people around the dark-skinned man were so scared that their faces turned pale. They all stepped back in unison. Although the dark-skinned man didn't move, his eyes were filled with a deep layer of fear. Others didn't know how the burly young man died, but he could guess. It was very likely that the young man in front of him used his spiritual energy to kill him, and to silently crush the head of a level 1 evolver. Only a level 3 magician or above could do it. Thinking of this, the dark-skinned man couldn't help but gulp and say with a trembling voice, "Senior, we're sorry for the offense. We'll leave now." "Did I say you could leave?" Su Chun harumphed coldly and released his spiritual energy to bind the dark-skinned man to the spot. He still hadn't found out the purpose of the other party's visit, so of course he wouldn't let him go. Moreover, he and Shuren's colony already had a conflict. Even if this didn't happen, he wouldn't let him go so easily. Chapter 299. "Senior, please hold on," the dark-skinned man shouted. With his body restrained, his life was no longer in his own hands. If he wanted to live, he could only plead with the young man in front of him. The people around the dark-skinned man saw that their leader was being restrained and came to their senses. The young man in front of them was a telekinesis master, and an unusually powerful one at that. Previously, the death of the burly young man was secretly caused by him. After knowing Su Chen's identity, their expressions turned ugly, and they began to feel uneasy. "Tell me, what's going on?" Su Chun stared at the dark-skinned man and asked coldly. The dark-skinned man swallowed his saliva and replied truthfully, "Senior, a large number of mutated people have appeared near the Wuxia Mountains. They are very powerful and bloodthirsty, so we had no choice but to come here." "You have no choice but to steal other people's gathering place?" Su Chun snorted coldly. The dark-skinned man trembled in fear and did not dare to let out a fart. Su Chun continued to ask, "What do those mutated people look like? How strong are they?" "They all look like turtles and they are very strong. They are at least level 1 evolvers," the dark-skinned man said with a trembling voice. "Could it be the Green Turtle Tribe?" Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. In the deep pit of the Wuxia Mountains, there was a realm passage that led to the Green Turtle Tribe. Coupled with the dark-skinned man's description, he was basically sure that it was the Green Turtle Tribe. Speaking of which, he had even argued with a member of the Green Turtle Tribe. He had heard about the Green Turtle Tribe from that member of the tribe. Su Chun was not afraid of the appearance of the Green Turtle Tribe. Instead, he was somewhat excited. The reason was simple. Killing the mutated people would drop fragments. The population of a tribe must have reached a terrifying number. How many fragments would be dropped if all of them were killed? Su Chun was very much looking forward to it. When did those mutated people appear? Where are their hearts? Su Chun asked calmly. They appeared 5 days ago. They should be heading to King Kong City now. The dark-skinned man thought for a moment and replied, "Looks like Vajra City is done for." Su Chen muttered to himself. Vajra City was originally considered a large gathering place, but after Huang Can and the other experts were killed by him, their strength had dropped to a freezing point. Every member of the Green Tortoise tribe was at least a level 1 evolver, so it was easy for them to take down King Kong City. "All right, I've asked all the questions I need to." Su Chen withdrew his mind power and said plainly. The dark-skinned man regained his freedom and a look of joy appeared on his face. He cupped his hands and said, "Thank you for not killing me, Senior." Su Chen pursed his lips. "You might have misunderstood. I never said that I would let you go." He didn't have any deep grudges with the dark-skinned man and the others, but a grudge had already been formed. Since they were already enemies, they had to cut the weeds and eliminate the roots to prevent future troubles. "Senior, what do you mean?" The smile on the dark-skinned man's face froze, and he kept retreating. The others didn't know what to do, and nervousness spread among them. "It's simple." Su Chen pursed his lips and said mockingly, "I want to break your heads. You want to kill us?" The dark-skinned man was shocked and shouted, "Brothers, let's fight him." Since Su Chen didn't want to let them go, they naturally wouldn't regret waiting for death. He didn't believe that they would be afraid of a high-level telekinesis master with hundreds of people. Chapter 300. Kill! In an instant, battle cries filled the air. The Tan Man and the others took out their weapons and charged at Su Chen. In the face of death, they had no other choice. Only by killing Su Chen would they have a chance to live. Hundreds of people joined forces and formed a rope. Their aura was extremely violent. Han Kuan was stunned by this aura. His expression changed slightly. However, he did not back down. Instead, he wanted to help Su Chen. His idea was simple. Su Chen was here to help him. He could not let Su Chen bear the brunt of his anger alone. However, just as he took a step forward, he was stopped by Wu Yang beside him. "Captain Wu," Han Kuan frowned. He did not understand why Wu Yang stopped him. A meaningful smile hung on the corner of Wu Yang's mouth as he said faintly, "It's just a group of ants. They can't do anything in front of Su Chen. Let's just watch the show." Ants? Hundreds of people and dozens of evolvers were actually seen as a bunch of ants? Han Kuan frowned. He was even more confused. He had seen Su Chen's strength before. He had single-handedly grabbed explosive dragon flame and killed a level 3 black flame explosive dragon with a single slash. However, the combined attack of dozens of evolvers was not to be underestimated. Were they really less than ants in front of Su Chen? With this kind of doubt, Han Kuan's gaze drifted to Su Chen. What happened next almost caused his jaw to drop. He saw Su Chen punch out. Shadows of fists appeared in the air and rained down with an earth-shattering force. Then, a series of explosions rang out. Bam, bam, bam. One after another, it continued without end. After 100 explosions, the Tan Man and the others were all turned into a pile of meat paste. They could not be more dead. Gulp. Han Kuan swallowed his saliva. He was stunned. One punch, just one punch, and hundreds of experts were annihilated. Even though he had seen it with his own eyes, he still felt incredulous. At this moment, he also realized that Su Chen's strength had obviously increased by a level compared to the last time. If there was a word to describe Su Chen, it would be... Han Kuan could only think of one word: invincible. This was also Zhou Yun's first time seeing Su Chen use a killer move. At this moment, his mouth was so wide open that even his fist could be stuffed in. The other people in Fengxi were also shocked by Su Chen's punch. Other than being moved by Su Chen's strength, he was also secretly glad that Su Chen was the leader's friend. If it was an enemy, even if the thousands of them worked together, they wouldn't be able to withstand a single punch. "Brother Su, what level are you now?" After a long time, Han Kuan came back to his senses. He walked to Su Chen's side and asked in a daze. Su Chen smiled. "I just reached level 4 a few days ago." Hiss! Han Kuan sucked in a breath of cold air. He remembered clearly that the last time Su Chun came here, he was only level 3. After not seeing him for a few days, he was already level 4. This kind of cultivation talent could only be described as terrifying. Moreover, what was even more terrifying was that Su Chun was not even 20 years old. Brother Han, I came here this time to ask for a favor. Seeing that Han Kuan was in a daze, Su Chun coughed softly. Brother Su, you're too polite. If there's anything, just tell me. Even if I have to go through water and tread on fire, I'll definitely help you complete it, Han Kuan promised. Su Chun had saved Fengshi from danger twice. To him, Su Chun was tantamount to saving his life. Of course, he had to keep the matter of saving his life in mind. Su Chun called Zhou Yun to his side and said with a smile, "His name is Zhou Yun. He's also my friend. Please take care of him in the future." Han Kuan said solemnly, "Brother Su, don't worry. Zhou Yun will be my brother from now on." Chapter 301. After that, Su Chun chatted with Han Kuan for a while and gave him some seeds and sea monster corpses before leaving in a hurry. Originally, he planned to stay here for a day to catch up with Han Kuan. However, the appearance of the Green Turtle tribe changed his mind. Killing the aliens and getting their fragments was the most important thing. Satoshi, head to King Kong City, Su Chun ordered as soon as he returned to the car. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto King Kong City and set off. Su Chun, aren't we going to Tiannan Colony? Wu Yang asked curiously. Su Chun told him about the appearance of the Green Turtle tribe and their plan to attack King Kong City. Hearing this, everyone was a little excited and nervous. Although they had encountered aliens a few times before, they had never fought with them. The reason was that there were too few of them, and they were all killed by Su Chen's lightning-fast methods. The Green Turtle tribe was likely to be an entire tribe. Their numbers must have reached a terrifying number, and they could kill to their heart's content. Due to the distance from King Kong City, it would take at least 2 days. Su Chun took advantage of this time to gather everyone together and discuss countermeasures. After all, the Green Turtle tribe was not zombies. There were many strong people among them, and they would not be stupid enough to wait for you to kill them. If you did not prepare in advance, there might be casualties. 2 days later, the intelligent war chariot was infinitely close to King Kong City. It was less than 300 kilometers away. Su Chen's eyes were fixed on the central control screen. Suddenly, he saw 2 light spots, one blue and one black, moving at high speed. The black spots that appeared nearby were most likely the Green Turtle tribe. In other words, the Green Turtle tribe was chasing after humans. Satoshi, lock onto them and chase after them, Su Chun ordered. He planned to capture the Green Turtle tribe members and understand the situation of the Green Turtle tribe. Yes. The intelligent war chariot turned around and sped toward the 2 light spots. After about an hour, the intelligent war chariot stopped. Not far away, 2 MCVs were speeding towards them. The car in front was obviously driven by a human, and the car behind it was from the Green Tortoise tribe. Su Chun glanced at the 2 minibuses and frowned. He felt that the MCV in front of him was very familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere before. After thinking hard for a while, he remembered. The owner of the MCV seemed to be Han Feng, whom he had met once. That day, on the way to the desolate Lake Mountain Range, he chatted with Han Feng for a while and even gave him a few fruits. He also learned that Han Feng was heading to King Kong City. Therefore, he was sure that the people in the MCV in front of him must be Han Feng and his wife Chun Meihua. Su Chun had a good impression of Han Feng, so he naturally wouldn't just stand by and watch them get hunted down by the Green Turtle tribe. Satoshi, meet them, Su Chun ordered. Got it. With a loud bang, the intelligent war chariot rushed straight towards the 2 minibuses. Knowing that they had encountered the Green Turtle tribe's MCV, Yang Hao and the other 2 were eager to try again. Just as the 2 sides were about to get close, the MCV in front of them suddenly changed direction and sped toward the other side. At first, Su Chun was a little confused. He was clearly there to help Han Feng, so why did he run away? But soon, he realized that Han Feng was probably afraid of causing trouble for him, so he wanted to lead the Green Turtle tribe away. In the post-apocalyptic world, there were not many people with such a character. If it were someone else in such a dangerous situation, who would care about your life and death? They would want to drag you down with them. You're tuning in to the Legend of the Vagabond YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.